that all the time.
Welcome to the Rooster Teeth Podcast. This week, brought to you by. But for now, this is Gus.
Brandon.
Blaine.
Burnie.
And Gus.
Oh, 3 B's and a G.
So we were talking before the podcast started. You were saying that Simon & Garfunkel's your jam, Blaine?
Yeah.
You really big fan of Simon & Garfunkel?
I mean, okay, now you're going to ask me to list off the albums and stuff.
Well, no. I think like when I look at you, I don't get struck by that. I think I get more of like a Hall & Oates vibe.
Hall
What?
& Oates?
What's
Yeah,
wrong?
no, I like
Hall &
Hall &
Oates
Oates too.
Yeah, I could totally. I picture you like singing Hall & Oates in the shower.
Big on Duran Duran.
What do you know that we don't, Gus? Why are you bringing this up like that?
Yeah, why are you talking about my shower songs, Gus?
Because right before the podcast, Blaine was taking a shower.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Wait,
and singing in the shower.
Oh,
Were you
shit.
really?
Yeah. Well, you walked in?
I can tell there was something behind it.
Fuck.
We had some choice Hall & Oates tunes going.
Why would you?
Did you record it?
Wait, did you? Oh, Jesus.
I don't even know which one is Hall and which one's Oates.
Hall is on the left. Blaine is Daryl Hall.
I'm Hall.
And the other
Blaine
one's
Hall?
Oates.
Wait, did you record it? I'm
No,
curious
I
now.
didn't. We didn't
Why
get
would
any
you
audio.
do that
hell
in
you
a
singing?
public
What was he
bathroom?
singing?
He was out of touch. I'm out of time.
You're out of touch. I'm out of time.
You're actually singing in the shower?
It's,
He was going for it.
I'm having a good day.
Also, you shower here and you don't shower at the gym?
Yeah, there's old men ball sacks in the gym. And then
Old men like to put out their ball sacks at the gym. They love doing that,
I just, the other day, I walked straight in and just looked like, I was just like making eye contact with an asshole. I mean,
Really?
as soon as I walked in, I
I'm
was
right
like,
here, dude.
No.
I'm sitting right here.
You had the same experience in the podcast, too.
So you're talking about like old dude nutsacks. I saw you do a Periscope the other day showing your girlfriend lemon party for the first time ever.
Oh yeah, no, it was wonderful. I was like so excited she hadn't seen it, and I was trying to figure out what else she hasn't seen that I could show her. But she's seen a surprisingly amount of horrible things.
Meat spin?
She's seen Meat Spin. She didn't know initially, but then she thought about it for a while, and she put
She thought
two
about
and two
it.
together.
Have you
showed
guys-
it
And
to
then
her.
she pulled it up, and again.
I'm not the only one that's tried the meat spin, where you like gyrate your hips and then you get your dick spinning.
So did you try it like they do in the video?
How did he do it in the video? I can't remember.
He
I
was
haven't seen
spinning it, and there was like a penis going up and down his butt.
Oh, no. I haven't tried that. But no, I'm the whole like.
I'm pretty sure every dude with a penis has tried to do that.
What's your form? I noticed that I cock my hips to the left a little bit more.
It's the same thing as like tassels, right? The nipples. I assume it's the same like gyration.
Oh, okay. If it's just like that, then it's no problem.
Everybody knows what I'm talking about, guys.
Yeah,
Everybody
but
knows.
it's like I have no way to apply that knowledge.
I don't know let me think about it. No, I don't cock a certain direction.
No?
No.
Oh, I was like, you have spun your dick. I thought you were going to deny spinning your dick.
No, why would I deny that? No, I just the tough part is the initial swing to get it going, and then you got to get it.
Oh, you
It's
gotta
like
get the momentum.
it's like a propeller. You got to yell contact.
The one
like
on the top.
you get it going.
The one that's
Exactly.
funny is the one where the no hand clap where you like just it's just really funny.
Thank God you heard Hall & Oates in the shower, guys. That's all I'm going to say.
Ladies and
Because you could have heard
the
a lot
Rooster Teeth
worse.
Podcast. Oh my hair's
You could have heard
kinda
the
fucked up.
no hand clap.
been
Gus
wearing-
got a haircut.
I've been wearing a hat all day after my haircut, and it's
Smart
apparently-
move.
My hair's very compacted down now.
Yeah, your hair's like kamush.
Yeah.
If more than 3 people ask you if you got a haircut, you got to be careful about that haircut.
Why?
Just because it's a very noticeable haircut.
Yeah, but normally I let my hair get really long and then just cut it down to a more manageable
What's
length.
your photo that you have, which is your primary publicity photo, has you with very long hair in it.
Yeah, I think I didn't cut my hair for like a year and a half leading
that
up
true?
to that photo. Yeah,
Is it the one with the red shirt?
yeah. And it's just and then like I
know
look
that.
back at some of those photos of me from that time frame and like I look like a homeless person. How was I allowed to function as a member of society like that?
It's the buzzed hair that always freaks me out. Every time I see the older pictures with you, just like
hate those
barely any
pictures.
hair.
I don't, yeah.
Yeah, I don't like
scary.
That's
Yeah,
like
either.
pre-Rooster Teeth, right?
No, it's like early Rooster Teeth. That's like up until like
Season 3?
05. Yeah,
Yeah.
somewhere around
I've
then.
seen old photos with you with long hair. Have you ever grown out your hair that long?
My hair doesn't do that. Like in my hair, that I just had my hair as long as it basically gets, and then it just like my hair reaches this point where it goes out, and then it goes. We're just gonna densify. It's just like
Yeah.
it just curls in on itself, and it just gets thicker and thicker and thicker.
Yeah, I same thing.
Like
It's-
you were at
it's
the
a
bar the other night with Fwiz, and I was like putting straws in my hair,
Oh, yeah.
and then I can forget about them for the rest of the night, and I did, showing people that. And then, like, later I ran my fingers through my hair, and I had, like, 4 straws that fell out of my hair.
I felt so bad that night. Fwizz's friend Lester, who also works at YouTube,
Yeah.
bet on me with that little ring toss game. You know, the game where it's a string and it's got a ring connected to it and you try to hook it. We were playing it.
Yeah.
And I got good at it. And then Lester saw me playing it, and he had been losing money to this guy all night. And he said, I bet $100 on Blaine.
Wow.
Fucking choked.
Did
he
you?
lost $100 on me.
How much of that money did you get?
No, I didn't because I lost it. And then, like, Gavin put his hand on my shoulder, and he was like, you just, like, harmed someone financially. And I felt terrible.
It wasn't your fault. You didn't force them to bet
No,
on
it
you.
was Blaine's fault. I'm with
No,
Gavin on
no.
Oh, absolutely.
You are clear of guilt here, Blaine.
Did he
Thank
get
you,
upset
guys.
with you when he saw you at E3?
No,
like,
we
"God
joked
damn
around
it."
about it, and I'd give him a hug, and I owe you, Lester. I owe you.
Give him a hug. That's good. That's a good exchange for $100.
So did
You
he
got a hug, Gus.
Did they collect? Did he actually lose the $100?
Yeah, he like right as soon as it happens, he
No,
was.
he's gonna harbor resentment for you forever.
No, Lester's cool. Lester likes me. We're good. Me and Lester
Yeah, we don't believe that.
tight.
That's the truth. Ooh, almost spilled over here. Yeah, I hate that Brandon even has to ask that question. Did he have to pay up? Because it's like the default now. You bet people, and when they lose, they're just like, no, I'm not gonna pay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is like betting is just like theoretical,
If
Unless
money
you
were
win.
to exist.
unless you win, and then it's not theoretical.
Right. It's like
Exactly right.
you fucker.
What's the biggest bet you've won or lost?
I almost did a bet with Gavin. That would have been a huge one. What's the biggest bet that I've lost? Probably I don't bet.
You
much,
said
but
won or lost, didn't you?
Won or lost?
$100.
$100.
$100.
That's not bad.
You're gonna
You know, you'll get,
bet
like,
between people, not like in
Business
Vegas.
risk or something like that.
I watched Lester lose about $600 or $700 that night. On
Really?
that fucking ring game.
Betting on rings? Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
This guy was just racking it up on him. So
See, I don't bet much, and when I do bet, like the one bet I'll make in Vegas is like when I go by, like a roulette table, and I see there's like 5 blacks in a row on a roulette table.
Hey,
it's racist, man.
Take it, everybody, take it
Calm it
easy.
down.
Take it easy with the jokes. Come on. So I would go bet against a streak. Like if you see 5 blacks in a row, or let's say 5 reds in a row, for the sake of not being racist. If you see 5 reds in a row,
And Native Americans. Okay.
do you think the next number will be black or red? If you see 5
black.
reds in a row,
If it's 6 reds in a row, I'd probably assume it'd be black.
Nothing. Neither.
neither.
It would like seeing 5 blacks, seeing 5 of any color. You know, you're in my head.
It's just
You're
a
in my
joke.
head.
It's
you're
a
in my
color.
head. It would not affect. It would not make me want to bet.
Because I think fundamentally, some people vote with streaks, and some people vote against streaks. I vote against a streak.
Yeah, I'm totally
Even
for
though
the streak.
statistically, there's nothing that makes the next number more or less likely.
Yeah, I mean, if you were to predict will that happen, it's unlikely. But when you're there and you're looking at the next roll, it's still like 48% chance each way.
Nonetheless, when I walk by a roulette table and I see there's 5 of any one color in a row, I will bet against it, and that's what I usually do. And I usually will bet $100 on that. But I don't sit at a table and gamble all night. I just do those bets.
Oh, God.
And that's like super exciting. On one roll, the $100 sitting there.
I'll sit for hours at roulette. It's
Really?
like nothing, and it's so stressful because it's just like you have minutes and you're like strategizing where you're going to put this, and this. Are you going to bet 2 on the outside? It's the most nerve-wracking thing in the world, but it's unbelievably satisfying.
You also like war.
I don't like war. I'll play it.
So when did war become a casino game?
It's been there a while.
As far as I thought, like
At
war
least
was
10
like
years now.
like a game you played as a kid.
Yeah.
And in fact, if you go back and watch like National Lampoon's Vegas Vacation, there's a scene where they go to like a shitty off-strip casino and like they're playing all these weird not casino games, and one of them is war.
Well, it's the first table that the Bellagio has. As soon as you walk in, it's just facing you because I think it's like trying to target as many people as possible because then you'll have casual gamblers who maybe will kind of go in and out, but like that's what, pulls them in. I only played it when I went with Erin, Miles' girlfriend, to Vegas. Miles was there too. And she loved that game. I think she won like $500 or $600.
Why do we have so many people have the same fucking name? It's amazing to me.
Yeah, that's confusing. You played it also the
Blaine's
time
in
I went with you, and I
What?
know Aaron was not there.
2?
We had to drag you away from that
Who's the other
fucking
Blaine?
table.
Really?
Because
Which
we
is
would
Xbox.
keep winning
He got us into the
elsewhere,
HoloLens thing.
and then you would wander off and go lose all your money at the fucking war table.
I think that was before I learned how to play roulette. I'll say this. I was playing one time recently because I don't know if you're bored, you're playing. And there was this asshole who was to
Taking
the
your
left of
tweets,
me.
by the way, at hashtag, what do we do for this?
RT podcast.
RT Podcast.
your
I've been saying
favorite
hashtag RTE3 for a week now.
Oh,
Go ahead, Brandon.
I kept winning, and the guy next to me kept losing. So the guy got up from his seat and went and like sat down to the right of me because he thought like, oh, well, this guy's lucky. I'm gonna get on the other side and try to take his luck. And it's just like, A, that's not gonna help you, but B, you asshole.
Yeah.
Like that's not cool. That's
the-
just like,
The worst thing about Vegas are other gamblers who take gambling way too seriously.
yeah.
Like when you're at a $10 blackjack table and they will give shit to the new player because they didn't play blackjack right
Yeah.
and took their cards or whatever, it's like, just sit over there and play your fucking game or go to a higher table
Right.
if you're such a fucking professional. It especially makes me mad whenever, you go with a girl to Vegas and you're trying to teach her how to play blackjack. She makes a mistake and she gets chastised by someone next to her. They're done. They're not going back.
Right.
They're never going to go back and gamble again.
Yeah, I completely agree with you in that sense. What I was just saying is the guy just deliberately went and tried to get on the other side of me because he felt like I'm going to screw this guy over, so he loses. And it's like
That's shitty.
it's shitty.
Yeah.
then
It's casino war.
But then
So I
also
can't
you
really
get
come
you
up.
would get people who would get mad at that person for changing the table. You know, there's always people who are just like way too superstitious, and they're more than willing to share that with you, and they just need to shut the fuck up. And
They
go
should have
away.
crazy tables and
They
non-crazy
should
tables.
totally have crazy
that'd be-
tables. That
It's
would
like
be
smoking, non-smoking, crazy,
Great. Are
non-crazy.
you a fucking crazy gambler? Go sit
Non-smoking,
with other
non-crazy.
Crazy gamblers.
Cool.
Or dealers would just go, you shut your fucking mouth. That means that I chastised a guy on a plane, a grown man on the plane.
When? Where?
On the way back, it's gonna make if Ashley's in earshot, it's gonna fucking make her mad as hell.
Wait,
don't see
the
her.
one that I was on?
On our plane, yeah.
No shit.
We had words with a dude on our plane.
Ashley's over there. She got stern.
Yeah, so we put. She's saying the guy's a dick bag. So we put our laptops up in the overhead because we carried a lot of laptops to E3. I have my normal bag, which is my normal laptop, and then we had this Razer, and then another production Razer, and then even another computer, Ashley's laptop, in 2 bags, and we put them up in the overhead bin.
Right.
Well, we got in we boarded with group 1, so there was a bunch of people boarding after us, and Ashley and I are talking, and then we realized there's a dude with a carry-on, and he's standing at our row, at our place where the overhead bin is, where we put our bags, and he's got this carry-on bag, and he's going like this, Gus, like trying to fit it in there, jamming it. And Ashley she goes, hey, what are you doing? And he just completely ignores her and goes and sits down after he finally gets it to fit. Then we get up, we open the overhead bin up, and he just our laptops were like in the way, so he jammed them back as hard as he could until that bag would fit. And so he stood there in the aisle yelling at the guy,
my God.
directly yelling. I thought I was gonna get thrown out the plane, but it was just like
You did, or you were yelling at them?
Yeah, I mean, the guy's sitting in the middle seat, like the aisle over. And
Did he ignore you or did he actually reply?
He replied and said that he was sorry.
Oh,
Oh, cool.
That he didn't know they were
see
laptops.
this?
Yeah.
I was listening to Led Zeppelin in the back.
You were
of the
doing
plane.
it.
I'm sure he knew it was a fucking bag with someone's personal
Yeah,
belongings
he's a fucking
in
idiot.
it.
The guy was a fucking idiot.
He's a fucking caveman. Don't
Yeah.
fit.
Sitting in a middle seat like a bitch.
I bet that was the guy that was in.
Yeah, we're all thinking
I was
it.
fucking furious with this guy. I was so furious.
yeah. I think a lot of people just think they can get away with anything because no one's going to confront him. Especially it's like, oh, I'm on a plane. Who's going to cause a scene on a plane?
I just didn't.
Bernie
I
Burns.
didn't get it. And his demeanor wasn't that it was being an asshole or anything. He just seemed like he was in a rush and he was holding up the aisle. But then I stood in the aisle yelling. I kind of held up the aisle too.
So I had kind of a weird encounter on my way back from E3, where I went to get on the plane and I get to my row and I have the aisle seat and there's a woman sitting in my seat. So I double check my boarding pass. I'm like, and she looks like she's an off-duty flight attendant. Like she's a flight attendant and she's just on that plane.
Yeah.
To get somewhere. And I look at my boarding pass and I look at her like, I think you're in my seat. And she's like, oh really? I'm like, yeah, 14C. She goes, oh yeah, what seat should I be in? She's like looking around, like she's like asking someone, do you have my boarding pass? What is my seat? And she's like, and I'm waiting to get out of the aisle, and she's just like, yeah, it's here somewhere. And then eventually she gets up and moves, and then there was already a dude sitting next to her. So I sit down, and the dude looks around. He leans over to me and goes, we know you're in the wrong seat, lady. Just get the fuck out of the way. Am I right?
Yeah. Fucking beat it.
Maybe she didn't even work for the airline. Maybe it's just somebody dressed like a flight attendant thinking no one's going to question.
It was really funny because you could tell that dude was a super seasoned business traveler. Like he had all
Yeah.
his shit super organized, and he was having none of it.
That's funny.
I think the worst is as soon as you land, everyone's like.
I never understand that.
I
I
don't
never
get it.
understand that.
And then for me, they're like, they're asking
Thanks.
my face.
And then-
like, get the fuck out of here.
And then the worst is that the people who get like huffy and it's like, because like you're standing maybe in their way and they could be a foot closer to the door. Like,
we're not going anywhere.
it's like, do you want me to sit down? I mean, this is fine. We're all stuck here for 10 minutes.
And there's some cultures too where they just push. They push.
what?
Yeah, in Miami, when I go visit my grandmother lived in Miami because I'm from New York, and that's what old people do. They go to live in Miami when you live there, and I would go down there visit. And we'd be like in a supermarket, and people would be pushing. Like you're in line, they're pushing. It's like, quit pushing with your fucking cart. I'm not gonna go any fucking faster.
Another thing that I've noticed in like Florida and Los Angeles as well is if you're at a light and it as soon as it turns green, honk. And it's like that's kind of like stop, like they see it's green, but
Not always. And Austin's fucking terrible at it. I was at a red light that turned green the other day. I was 5 cars back.
Yeah.
Nobody was moving, and I'm like, what's going on? So I start honking. Like, I'm fucking 5 cars back. Are you telling me the 4 cars in front of me are all looking at their fucking phone. Nobody's looking at the goddamn light.
True.
It's infuriating.
Okay, I know you're right, but like when say you're in the front car, all right? Say you're in the front car and it turns green and you're like ready to go, you're like putting your foot on the gas and then someone honks behind you, that is infuriating.
Yeah, that's even worse.
There's a Funhouse employee that does that. I'm not going to say who it is.
He honks at everybody.
Say it.
Let's guess. No, let's guess who it would
Okay.
be. Somebody who honks at everybody at every green light is what you're saying.
Yes.
Like it's like
I have a guess.
Person sitting in front of him, light screen, honk.
Yeah.
That's the person who does that. Go ahead. Who you got?
Joel.
I was gonna say Joel Rubin.
Bruce.
Is it Bruce?
Bruce?
Yeah, okay, but
Our apologies to Joel Rubin.
yeah. And Bruce, I'm sorry for selling you out, but I did notice he's got a nice car too, Bruce does. But like as soon as we're at the light,
2 sellouts and 1.
honk, and I'll be like, oh, come on, it's all right, man.
I guess Joel, because I played an online game with him the other day. I love you, Bruce.
I was gonna say Lawrence if I didn't say Joel.
He was just like on top of it, directing everyone
Yes.
around on the battlefield. Like, go
yeah.
here, go here. What are you doing? You're fucking up. Do this, do that. It's like, awesome.
He was a big help during the E3 stuff. Joel Rubin was, because he took over for a lot of the social media stuff, and he has you bitch at your iPad. He's got the world's slowest iPad. I want to give him for Christmas. I want to give him a new iPad just because I got tired of dealing with that one over the course of E3. But he was great. Like he was one of the people like stepped up, and once we did something once, he was there every single time to do it the next time.
Everybody at E3 was phenomenal. The Funhouse guys, like, huge help having those guys there. I thought that was fun. I was like stressed out of my mind, but man, that was fun. Though.
It was a lot of fun. It went really well too. We had like one slight hiccup on day one where we had a game. Because it was a YouTube thing. We also had some Let's Players mixed in, so like different channels and stuff. And then we actually explain what we're even talking about here. So for E3, for those of you who don't know, YouTube had a booth on the floor for the first time ever, and they had Rooster Teeth host all 3 days on the show floor. Jeff Keighley did like the big press conferences on Monday, and then we did Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Gus, you were there.
I was there.
Blaine was there. Blaine wasn't on camera ever, but he was there the whole time. And so we were in charge of scheduling everything and getting the hosts there, and then YouTube provided the booth and the tech crew and all that other stuff. And we had one, go figure, it was GTA. We had one Let's Player who came on to play GTA, and it was just like technically it was not ready to go, and we stuck with that a little bit longer than we should have, trying to fix that problem, because the last thing we wanted to do was bump a YouTuber from that YouTube stage. But it was like we just didn't have a choice at the end, and we just brought him back later.
Yeah.
We actually ended up cutting a podcast on the last day, which totally made sense, because after 2 days of having podcasts, we really had nothing left to say, because nothing new was announced Wednesday. You know, everything was pretty much announced Monday and Tuesday, and that was it.
Yeah.
So, but it was a blast. I mean, that was a lot of fun. We went through. Ashley can probably tell us, but we went through, I don't know how many devs, like 5 or 6 demos a day, and then we had like 4 or 5 YouTubers a day too.
We even had like exclusives and stuff like that.
Like 20 game demos.
Ashley says 20 game demos across the 3 days.
We were the first to play the new Destiny stuff. I mean, it was cool.
Bungie was awesome. They brought dev kits to the booth so we could play Destiny live.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
They wired them to their booth.
they wired them to their booth.
They ran like a long network cable?
Wireless.
What?
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
You can't fake the multiplayer.
She's saying it was wireless because you can't fake the multiplayer. And we don't even know who we were playing against, but they were really fucking good. I look like a jackass. I was playing a Warlock on a PS4, both things I never do. I played Titan on Xbox One, and I was just like, I was getting my ass kicked.
Well, they weren't streaming your screen though, were they?
No, they weren't.
Good.
And it was like, I got off that score screen as fast as I could. I think I had like 3 kills in the entire match. It was a misery.
Was there any? Okay.
Oh, I was gonna say I got to play For Honor, that new Ubisoft thing that they announced. That game was fucking fun. Me, Jack, and Ashley went to like Ubisoft rented out the highest or the top floor in the tallest building in LA. I think is it Citibank or what?
US Bank.
US Bank building.
Ashley, what, you went to that? You mean Katie?
No, Jenkins was there.
You were there?
Yeah, she was on my team for For Honor. We kicked
Oh,
ass.
where was I?
You were something else.
I guess I was at something else.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so we went up there, and it was cool because I mean, we like at one point, me and Jack were looking out, just like kind of admiring the scenery and stuff like that. And a helicopter, we were so high, a helicopter passed underneath us.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was fucking cool. But anyways, For Honor was badass, and I ended up going 17-4, and I was super proud of that because the other team, they didn't have enough guests, so they had like 2 or 3 devs playing for them, and I was still just like a decapitated guy, and I go, ah.
Explain what the game is.
Oh, so it's kind of like a mix of Dynasty Warriors. Good game. It's a mix of like Dynasty Warriors and like Smite, where it's like you kind of have like these minions, smaller players, but then like the other players on the other team are like bigger, more built dudes, and then it's just there's I don't know, it's like battle There's like parrying and swords and all sorts of shit. I'm
What day
terrible.
was
Saying a
it?
bunch
What
of
day did you go
words.
do that? Monday?
What's that?
Yeah.
Did you do that Monday?
Table, rock.
Fight fire.
Yeah, maybe. I think I did that Monday.
Monday, that would make sense. And then because I was at the, I went to a really interesting thing is I went to a group of filmmakers and film distributors that were talking about the ethics of crowdfunding. And that was Monday in the morning. And I don't think I have the liberty to say who was there, but it was it was a lot of major studios and a lot of major distribution platforms, and then some creators as well.
Do they talk
It
about
was a really
Shenmue 3?
cool room to be in. I'll say that.
Was that at like E3, or was that like just
Nope.
kind of happened to be?
Just happened to be at the same time.
Oh, cool.
Which was funny because right after we left that, like they were debating whether or not crowdfunding is an ethical way to fund movies, like to basically have pre-orders for movies before you do it. And there was this debate, and I said, nobody else is having this debate but you guys. This is like, if you look at video games, I was pointing to E3 down the road. I said, if you look at video games, they have 3 different ways they crowdfund things. They have traditional crowdfunding, like Kickstarter, the way that movies do stuff. Then they also do pre-orders for all their games as well. And then they do early access now. Those are all like crowdfunding methods. You know, I mean, as soon as they announced Fallout 4 Sunday night, that thing was on sale and sold out, pre-orders. That's a game that's still in development. I mean, it's pretty late in development, but it's still in development. And they're already taking money for it. I don't see how that's different. And then the point really was driven home because Sony announced the Shenmue
Shenmue 3.
Kickstarter. And then 2 days later, they said, "Oh, we're funding the game." I don't get that.
No, they wasn't even 2. It was like 3 or 4 days later. It was weird.
I think once they get high enough, like Meg did a whole story on it with who did the story with Meg today? Ash, do you know? Oh, Gus, you did it?
I guess.
Yeah, so that's going to be posted soon if it's not already posted on the Know. What do you think about that?
It's shady, you know, especially because and we talk about this in the story. Please watch it if you haven't yet. During the press conference and during the Kickstarter, all the language that was used was very consumer focused. Like, if the fans don't fund this, we can't make it. It's the fans, you know, we need you to support us. We can't do it without you. And then, you know, once they get to $3 million, like, oh yeah, we really need 10, and it's cool because Sony's giving us some money. So during the press conference, Sony had said that they weren't involved. It comes around that they are actually involved in the game.
Yeah,
'Cause,
it's like
$2 million
if that was in place.
When we were covering this, even during the E3 coverage, at one point, you know, I think Bernie and I were talking about Shenmue 3. I think it was the two of us. We were talking between segments. You asked me what I thought about it. And I said, it's like, I said, $2 million seems like a weird goal for this game for me. I said,
Right.
it doesn't seem to me like you can make this game for $2 million. I don't know why that number is set to that. And here we find out they really want $10 million.
Well, yeah, it's possible though if Sony was like, we're not going to fund this unless we know that there's a actual interest in this game. And
But
that's how they
could have framed
prove
it that way.
They
saying
could have,
it's upon the fans to show your interest, to show that you want this game made.
Yeah, don't be
Yeah.
disingenuous. Yeah, I get that.
I mean, like, we've learned a lot before we ran our crowdfunding campaign for our thing. We learned a lot about backlash, so we were always really careful about what we
Yeah.
said about the project. Like, we said, we're going to make this movie. We want your help to make it as good as we possibly can, you know? They didn't say, we're making Shenmue. Get on board right now. You know, what they did was what a lot of people do is they're using crowdfunding to test the market. Is there interest in this thing? And that just makes it harder for other people to actually crowdfund projects, original projects. And it's not just video games. I mean, they do it with movies all the time. Veronica Mars, all the money went to Warner Brothers from that thing. It was a Warner Brothers crowdfunding effort, essentially. And what really amazes me is that artists, like, what's the name of the guy from Shenmue?
Sue Yuzuki?
So he's basically putting his reputation and his name on the line, knowing
Yu Suzuki. I said it
knowing that
backwards.
Sony's going to back this thing, and knowing that Sony's got going to be the financial back end of this whole thing. That basically, if it fails, it looks like he failed at his Kickstarter, and if he is successful, all the money goes to Sony to then pay to make his game. It's like, I don't see what the upside is from the crowdfunding aspect for him. You know what I mean?
I mean, if that was the only option they gave him, it's like you either do this our way and you take the hit, or we're not going to do it at all. You
Totally
know,
get that
it's-
argument. That
it's
it's like-
it's a tough position. You know?
And you want to get your projects made no matter what. It's
Yeah.
one of the toughest things in the industry to get your project made. And what's he laughing? What's he laughing at? Oh, Blaine in the shower.
Someone drew Blaine in the shower.
I'm not trying
Sorry,
to-
a quick aside to
I'm
our-
not trying to justify it. All I'm saying is, at the end of the day, if
Thanks,
you're
Taylor
picking
Stone.
between those two things, it's understandable.
They got my pecs. Perfect.
He's so happy.
Yeah.
I've never seen Blaine smile so brightly when he sees a photo of himself or a picture of himself. I'm not debating it. I'm not saying what they did was either right or wrong either.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to get their projects made. But it just seems like the artist would be like, damn, it's like I'm taking 100% of the risk and very little of the upside of this. Like, if it falls flat, they fall flat on their face. You know, the artist does. I mean, that's for the Super Troopers guys, the Veronica Mars. You know what I mean? If it gets $0 over the course of 30 days, that's a really tough thing to have to deal with.
Who's periscoping?
Full screen's Periscope.
Ooh. I guess life's about risks.
Life
If
is
you're gonna
about
take-
risks.
Huh?
Life is about risks.
If you're gonna take a risk on yourself.
Yeah, here's the thing. If you're seeing a crowdfunded thing for an already released project, like the IP already exists, it's a sequel or something like that, it's probably not owned by the artist at that point. That ship has
Right,
probably
right.
already sailed, you know? And the other thing, too, is like they present this Kickstarter, this crowdfunded thing. I guarantee that thing will only be on PlayStation. That will not appear on the Xbox, and it probably, most likely, will not appear on the PC.
I don't know. Shenmue 2 did get ported to the original Xbox.
Well, Shenmue 2 did, but this one's being backed by Sony and everything else, right? With this crowdfunding thing.
Who knows?
Which
who knows-
makes it more
But then,
sketchy.
then they had a weird statement, which we also cover in the video, which was due to contractual obligations, they cannot disclose who has contributed money to the project.
What?
It's like, what the fuck are you? Is that a spy movie?
Yeah. What's video games being secret? Because they don't want to give the information out.
Yeah.
You know, they cannot give it out. But, like, name another crowdfunded game that didn't come out on PC. Almost every crowdfunded game to date is for the PC or for mobile. People don't typically crowdfund console games. It just doesn't happen.
Well, how soon do pre-orders go out for console games? Like even the big
Depends.
games.
A year?
It can be a long time. In some
Duke
cases.
Nukem was 5 years, right?
Do you think
was that
that-
the big joke? A guy had
yeah.
a pre-order for...
Even earlier, I think.
Yeah, he had a pre-order that was like 10 years old when the game came out.
Do you think developers will put in more resources if the pre-orders reach a certain amount where they're like, all right, well, we already know people have bought into this point. We can, we have the money, or we can like buy in and do more and more of this stuff?
I think the ship has sailed on pre-ordering. I think that's an established part of the culture of video games. I just think it's there.
Well, what about the perks
it
like
might go
the
away
Fallout
when
thing?
GameStop and all the retail stores go away, but until then it won't go away.
Yeah, you're right. It was as a 10-year-old pre-order for Duke Nukem.
If they did an Indiegogo or a Kickstarter for Half-Life 3, would you contribute just
No.
so that it would get fucking made?
Probably not. Maybe.
I would.
I mean,
want
it all
to be
depends
made.
on the perks too. Like if there's a cool perk
To Valve?
or something like that.
Yeah, I know it sounds ridiculous, but I just want that game to be made.
You get a Team Fortress 2 hat with your backing of
Oh.
Half-Life 3.
I don't mind. They tell you not to pre-order games. Like people tell you don't do it, but I don't mind pre-ordering.
Why do people not want you to pre-order?
Well, a lot of developers don't want to do that because the retail stores will use the pre-order numbers to determine how many copies of the game to order instead of doing an actual market analysis or taking a risk on a title that, the audience isn't aware of. That's why you have like Call of Duty 15 ends up with a huge midnight launch and a new IP like Horizon, which looks fucking badass on the PS4, won't, because not as many people are going to pre-order Horizon. But everyone's going to get the new Call of Duty on pre-order because they don't want to not have it on launch day.
They want to have their special gun
Yeah.
or map.
Yeah, and when I've done it in the past, they've said, well, we're only going to have a couple like on launch day that aren't for pre-orders. So it's like at some point they might be intentionally or at least telling you that
yeah,
they're
I'm,
not.
I'm sure they've been doing that for a while. That's why I'm glad that you can just download games now.
I've been kind of
Yeah.
out of the gaming loop for a while now, just because I've been busy with like school and then now work. But I remember when I used to go to GameStop the day of a title's launch, and I'd say, "All right, let me get this game," and they would say, "Sorry, you didn't pre-order." Wasn't that the biggest bullshit?
That was infuriating.
Do they still do that?
I download all my games now. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Did
it's-
you-
that used to happen to me all the time though.
Yeah.
And I would get so mad. Like, what do you mean? Like, the game is out. I'm here with money. Like, oh, no,
I'm not a bitch, but I will throw a fit, and I used to throw a fit whenever that happened. I'd be like, "You are a fucking game store."
But pre-orders
People are
only were $5. Are they still just $5
For pre-orders?
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
Yeah.
If I want the
just
game the
pre-order-
day of,
I pre-ordered the whole thing.
like BioShock, for instance, when that first came out, I didn't really know anything about it, and then I heard like day one that it was like the greatest game ever. Went to GameStop, they didn't fucking have it, and I was like, "You guys suck." So
Yeah,
This
digital's
episode
got
brought
to
to you by
like
GameStop.
kill all that stuff.
Yeah.
'Cause then you would just go home and download it now.
Yeah, like I bought physical games when the Xbox One and the PS4 launched, like with them, like thinking I had to play those. I had to buy the games to play them. I got home, I was like, oh, I'm stupid. Like,
Yeah.
why did I buy these?
I like
could've just,
physical media though.
I could have just downloaded
Some,
it.
yeah,
No.
a lot of people do.
Physical media is
This was my old complaint back with the Xbox 360 was having to swap out games.
Yeah.
That's
No.
I'm the same way. I hate putting stuff out.
It's like,
I'll
I'm
just, not
already
gonna play it.
sitting down.
It's like back when I had cable and like something like Back to the Future will pop up, and you have to watch it with commercials and stuff edited out, and I'd be like, oh, I guess I can just go get my DVD and put it in and watch that. I was like,
Yeah, I'm already here.
I'm
It's
already
already
here.
out.
You told me not
it's
too
just-
long ago, like Game of Thrones season 4 came in on Blu-ray, and I remember getting it, and you're like, "Yeah, there's something sexy about physical media," and I was like, "You're right, Brandon. You're totally going against that.
I didn't say there's nothing sexy about it. I'm just saying like I'm
convenient.
Something sexy about it."
Yeah, I agree. I'm just lazy about it.
People are telling me
Especially
this-
like the things that are
Shenmue- I'm
put
gonna
really
correct
well
something real
together.
quick. Shenmue 3 Kickstarter says that it'll be available on PC as well. It says that on the Kickstarter.
Oh.
Okay.
We'll see. That's all I'm gonna say. We'll see. Sorry, Brandon. I didn't
Trying
mean
to
interrupt you.
trap me.
I just don't want to get too far away from it.
Here, let me read this thing.
You read that thing.
I want to remind everyone this episode of the podcast is brought to you by.
I think the thing that's going to change media in the country is whenever AT&T rolls out the gigabit service to all of the cities they've announced, like they know they're going to do it in Houston, Dallas, New York. It's on the schedule. Whenever that happens, then I think everything is different.
And
It's
AT&T will
4K video.
They'll
What's
get
that?
that done way faster than Google's gonna do it.
Google, I don't think Google ever planned on it. They're just trying to force AT&T's hand. They've done that before.
I'm now moving out of the house where Google Fiber was promised me like 2 years ago when I moved in. So
Did you get a T-shirt though?
No, not that I know of. Were they giving out
You
T-shirts
have
now?
to, you have to
Yeah.
sign up for them. There's no way he would have signed up for it.
A free No, thanks. No. I was trying to explain to somebody the other day that the conventions that you and I used to go to, Gus, before our careers in the video game industry.
Our old career.
Yeah, our old careers, like yours was in promotional items.
Yeah.
And
You want some promotional items?
telecom
I'll
with
make you some
me as
promotional
well.
items.
We would go to those conventions and like those show floors were they were a misery. It was a misery to be on a show floor, especially if you're working a booth.
Were they like crowded or?
No, there's nothing.
Like, you
you just
imagine-
stand there for like 8 hours.
You're
and talk
trying to
to three
get
people.
someone's attention who's just trying to walk by.
So you're basically one of those mall kiosk.
Exactly.
People.
Like
Exactly
that.
what it is.
Yeah,
Free
it's like,
lotion.
Imagine a convention center filled with mall kiosks.
Fuck that.
yeah,
That's
it's
what
like,
most convention floors are like.
can I interest you in outsourcing services? No? Okay.
Well,
how about
E3
you?
was fucking cool. There's stuff everywhere.
They'd have to give out stuff to get people to come to the booth. People don't give away anything at E3. I got a pin from XCOM.
Oh,
by the way,
I got the
XCOM
Bethesda
2,
figures.
XCOM 2 looks great. Did you see it?
Ashley's jealous.
I heard a gasp.
No, I didn't get a chance to see it while I was
It
there.
looks great.
How's Pug sniffing butts?
Butt sniffing pugs.
Butt
Butt
sniffing
sniffing
pugs.
pugs.
The
They're
game's
right,
fun.
Is it?
It was
Yeah.
a good independent game.
How was it? How it just?
You want me
it's-
to, okay, they want to break it
Brandon,
down for you?
how can you not play this game?
No, it's just when you're watching it, it does not like. I don't understand what's appealing of the gameplay. The controller seems awesome.
Heard nothing but good things.
It's just fun.
Okay,
It's like you play a pug, and you steal powers from another pug by sniffing its butt.
By sniffing
I'm
the
all
butt.
for
And
it.
then you use the powers to interact with the world and get do
Yeah.
different things.
Did you
You
put
nailed
your face in the pug butt?
No, but I just because it seems like a lot of people are touching that, and I don't
Oh,
want to stick
yeah.
my face on it.
No, I don't blame you.
That's
Did
a
they
that's
tell
a
you to put your
recipe.
face in it?
No. He
didn't
said,
tell-
Well, you have
that's
to
one-
hit it, right?
He
You
said,
have to-
you have to hit it. He said I talked to one of the developers, and he said that the way they originally spec'd it out was that you would
Hey, here
have
it
to
is.
press both buttons down and press the butt. That way, you would have to use your face to smash in on the butt. But for shows, obviously, they want to keep it a little clean. And then in between every person who used the system, he like tried to sanitize. He used some Lysol and some wipes to
Oh,
clean
that's
it all
nice.
down. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, that is going to be on the pre-order list.
Wait, so do you
You
have
don't
to
need to
use that
pre-order this
controller? Do you have to buy that controller if you want to get the game? Or can you play with
Well,
it?
it's all still like, it's not a done game. It's kind of like a proof of concept, kind of.
Oh, it's not. So it's not like coming out in a few months.
No, I don't think so. The guy said that they were still working on it, trying to flesh out more content for it. So,
It's depressing.
I wouldn't be surprised if you could get butt sniffing pugs.
What was the coolest game that you guys saw?
butt sniffing pugs.
But I feel like I've talked about this a million times. But the
HoloLens.
HoloLens demonstration for Halo
Get a boner for HoloLens.
was the real fucking deal. That was amazing. We were talking about Lydia. I got a burp. I'll be right back.
Welcome back.
All right, thank you. We were talking about Lydia, who gave the Microsoft Mojang presentation. I don't think many people have ever heard Mojang pronounced correctly. What we typically call Mojang, the makers of Minecraft. Lydia did the presentation for HoloLens. Lydia was hired at Mojang 4 years ago. She was a YouTuber making videos.
Did she talk about that in her presentation?
Did
she did, yeah.
Okay, so so she went
Yeah.
from 4 years ago being a YouTuber fan making videos to then being hired by Notch to be their community person or their director of fun to then she's now on stage giving the show-stealing presentation of the entire conference.
Yeah, she mentioned during the conference, during her speech, that it was 4 years ago at E3 that
Yes.
she met them for the first time, and
Yep.
she showed a picture outside.
It's really awesome. And so they did a demonstration, and you can go look at the HoloLens demonstration they did for the press conference. You can't see the Halo one. That's Lydia right there. You can't see the HoloLens demonstration that they did, but that was amazing. That was behind closed doors. I went at 8 in the morning with Gav and Meg and Kovic, and we went And also Lawrence came, but he couldn't get in because we only had 4 slots. And I kept telling Kovic that, but Lawrence came anyway just to get a shot in. And then Lawrence didn't talk to me for like half the day.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
What?
That sounds awesome. That's fucking sweet.
I was worried about it, but this is the HoloLens. We're showing video on screen. You can look it up online if you're listening to the audio version, where they transfer this Minecraft experience to the table. And they had the camera set up as though it has HoloLens. This is actually what it looked like, where it was like this image that was just like 3D in front of you. And for the Halo demonstration, it was so smart the way they started it, because you were on a deck, a set that they had built that looked like a UNSC capital ship. And then they put the HoloLens on you, and it says, you need to go to the briefing room. And the way you get to the briefing room is, the first thing that happens is a waypoint comes up on your screen, and you just follow the waypoint. And then when you reach the waypoint, it's the arrows going this way, and you turn. It's just awesome. It's the real deal. I mean, it was like I was looking at a hologram, and I realized I have a headset on with a little like visor that has a special viewport that is doing that illusion, but it looks like there's a hologram, Commander Palmer, pacing around in front of me, about this tall, in front of me on this hexagonal briefing table, giving me my orders.
cool.
It was awesome. It was an amazing experience.
I ran into you that morning at the outside of our hotel, and I had my headphones in. I do this thing where I have like very selective hearing, so like I heard my name, and I was just like, I got too many things to do right now to talk to anybody. And it ended up being Burnie, and I was like, oh, hey, Burnie. You're like, hey, man, I'm running HoloLens. And I was like, oh, I got Gavin's wristband, and I handed it to you, and you immediately sprinted. And there was like a half mile until the convention center, and you ran. I watched you run the entire way.
Oh yeah, I was running for Gav. Yeah,
I
was trying to get there in time because they were already
hauling ass.
Yeah, there was a thing where they were like telling me my spot was gone. I was like, I'm 15 minutes till my slot is even up, and so I was like, they're not kicking me out of this thing. So I like ran all the way to the convention center.
Literally ran the whole entire way.
I ran
5 years.
away.
In 5 years, how popular do you think that technology is going to be?
I think
like
it'll
on a
be
consumer level.
Porn.
I think the AR
gonna be crazy.
will be more ubiquitous than VR.
I like it more because you
People
can
use
still
it more.
see your environment,
That's exactly it.
and it's additive. It's not replacing.
Right. And
Oh yeah, the augmented reality type.
Horror
the same,
games
yeah.
with HoloLens.
yeah,
Ah,
people
that'd
did
be so
the lady from PT in their living room. They're like, if this happens, I'm out of here.
Well, I said, did you see the video of like the people's reactions with the Morpheus demo? There was a Morpheus horror game. What was it? Was it called Tuesday? Do you know? Remember? Or no, Kitchen? I don't remember. Something like that. Kitchen.
It was either Tuesday or Kitchen.
I think it was
Sounds horrifying.
I think it was Kitchen, but they would show people with the Morpheus on, and then just like freaking out, like flailing, like
Clawing at their faces.
Yeah, it's like so. I do not want anything to do with a horror game with a VR or AR headset.
At some point, that's gonna like cause health problems. Like it's just too real, and you're just too terrified, and you can't get away from it because it's like in your face.
Well, Kovic came out and he was like, does anyone else's neck hurt? My neck hurts. He kept talking about his neck hurting for like an hour.
He said his head hurt the rest of the day.
Yeah. So some people react negatively to it.
I'm sure people have been saying that though forever. Like whenever you see like a new way to interact with stuff, they're like,
They've
oh,
gone too far.
that'll make you have a heart attack.
Yeah.
Like when movies first came on, you see like a vampire like actually on the screen, like that'll.
Well, it's tough because, I mean, if you ever look at the way the Kinect works, it's a little frightening.
So I'm thinking Nosferatu.
So look at videos on YouTube of a Kinect with night vision on, and if you look at like a is this a Morpheus demo?
Yeah, this is
Oh.
the Morpheus
Oh,
Kitchen
shit.
demo.
We're looking at reactions to a Morpheus demo.
Yeah, that's a bit much for me.
She looks like she's trapped in that thing.
Probably Peter.
This
Pan's.
looks like a hostage video. Doesn't it?
Yeah, the top lighting and stuff.
Oh my god! She looks horrified.
Yeah, like covering
my
the
God.
ears, like you. There's no escape.
All I
can't
can think of
escape
is I
it.
want to put that on Paula's head and periscope it.
One time, I got a moth in my ear one time, and I was outside mowing the lawn. There was all these moths, and one of them flew in my fucking ear, and it was alive, and it couldn't get out. And there's nothing worse than the feeling of like you hear this like horrible flapping, buzzing inside your own ear, and then you're so used to like covering your ear to block the noise, but that does nothing. It does like literally nothing to change it whatsoever. It was awful.
You probably looked like a crazy person too. Your neighbors were probably watching.
was-
You're like,
No, what happened? What happened was I would be like, okay, I'd be like, all right, here's the deal. There's a moth in my ear, and it's like it freaks out every now and then, and when it does, it really. And then I would like mid sentence, I would start flailing and going because the moth would just like be okay, and then it would freak out and start to flap in my ear. Oh, it was horrible. But then my neighbor was like brilliant. I was trying to get it out with tweezers. And he's like, no, hold on. And he ran to his house, ran back, and he just got a bottle of alcohol and just dumped it in my ear. and killed them all.
Oh.
And then I went and like, he pulled it out with the pair of tweezers, the dead body. I still went to the emergency room anyway, just to have my ear checked out. And he said there were like little parts and dust in there. So he flushed my ear out with like a syringe. That was the loudest sound I've ever heard in my life. That was amazing.
So he was stuck in there. It's not like he didn't know how to get out.
I know. I think it was he couldn't get out because he had room to flap and stuff.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
Couldn't
like
you just-
in your brain.
It was horrible. It was horrible.
Couldn't you turn the lights off and just get a flashlight? Be like, hey, go over there.
Well, I'd be
if he's-
shining on his butt.
What if he was a mosquito and he started like just like, sucking the blood out of your innards?
I think I would have preferred that. I think I would prefer the mosquito to the like meaty, flappy sounds of a big moth. It was no small moth. It was enough
It's a
to
serious
like
moth.
jam in my ear canal.
We're talking about.
What were we talking about? We were talking about something.
We're talking about augmented reality, virtual reality.
Oh, you guys, your HoloLens experience.
Well, I saw some AR stuff where you used to hold up your phone, like with Google Maps, and it would label all the things on the streets. Like,
Yeah.
here are all the
Subways,
stores.
they wear that too. Like, go up here to get to the subway.
Yeah,
and stuff.
but I never saw those applications in real life. The most AR thing that we've had, and we've had it forever, Gus, is that amazing application called WordLens.
Yeah.
That you hold up to a sign in a foreign language and it translates the sign to English
Yeah.
on the camera. So as you like move around, it looks like a picture, but all the words are being translated
Yeah,
on the fly.
Google acquired them, and I think that's part of Google Translate now.
That's been around for 8 years, I feel like, at this
I
point.
thought we were talking about this on the podcast in the Congress office.
Yeah.
remember
I can see that
downloading it
useful
after
in
you guys
Google
did that.
Glass. Like,
But, like-
that to me makes sense. But like walking around like this, no one's gonna do it. No one does.
If you're in a foreign country and you can't fucking read a goddamn thing, I guarantee you'll do that.
You know why I know people walk around like this?
Send me to a foreign country and we'll find out.
Why people walk around holding their phone out in front of them like this? You know why I know they'll do that, Brandon?
Why?
Because I've watched everybody playing fucking Fallout Shelter for the last week and a half at this point.
Are you sheltering? I'm sheltering.
You haven't watched anybody. You've been playing yourself.
Shush. You don't need to talk so much, Ashley. You don't have a microphone.
How many people are in your vault?
What's that?
How many people in your vault?
I could check. Let me find out.
I heard all they do is just hump all day. Just
You can set that up.
yeah,
One of my
there's-
babies just grew into a healthy dweller. So that
Congratulations.
probably puts me at 75.
Oh, then you complain about all these other people playing.
I'm just saying everybody walks around with their phone in their hands playing Fallout Shelter. It's a great game.
We were even at the airport in like I've never been there, but the nice club section, and I was like eating my cookies, and there's a guy that I remember he's talking about Fallout, and he's like, yeah, I was looking at my shelter. He's like on the phone with his friend.
Yeah, he's this older dude. He looked like he was like in his 60s. He's like, yeah, I tried to get the Pip-Boy edition, but they're out of that. So I bought it off eBay for like $400.
Jesus.
And then right after that conversation I saw that they released more of the Pip-Boy editions.
Ooh,
Have you played it at all while you're in your car driving?
Do what? I tried to, but they were all sold out by the time. Ashley, okay.
I got one.
Now that Ashley's off mic, I have a couple bones to pick with Miss Ashley Jenkins. And you can come up here and defend yourself if you want. But Ashley, we were at E3. This is last week, okay? So the last episode of Game of Thrones had happened the Sunday before that. The Game of Thrones, the 9th episode was the Sunday before that. And because, I realized because she had to get ready for E3, before she had to get ready for E3, we hadn't watched the episode of Game of Thrones. And then I revealed when we were out for drinks the first night of E3 that I had went ahead and watched the 9th episode of Game of Thrones without her. Gus, she got furious with me. Like legitimately furious with me. Look at Brandon shaking his head.
No, it's just like you can't afford not to. I've been in the same position. It's like, well, I can't. I'm sorry. It's just like I can't.
I understand it. You fucked up by letting it slip, though.
I know I
You
did.
should keep your ducks in a row.
I really did. I really fucked up. But we still haven't watched it. I've been wanting to sit down and watch it with her. And she's like, no. She won't do it. Is she looking at me?
We had plenty of time last night.
Plenty of time last night.
Well, we could have watched it last night. We could have watched
You watched Back to the Future.
We did. For Father's Day, I watched. My kids had never seen Jurassic Park or Back to the Future. So we sat down and watched both of those.
did you take him to Jurassic World?
No, we were talking about Jurassic World. So that's how it got into discussion of Jurassic Park. So we just sat down and watched Jurassic Park. Dude, they were enthralled. They were just like, that movie is now 23 years old. And they were just like enthralled staring at it. Maybe 22 years old.
Back to the Future, or Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Jurassic Park's pretty good.
Back to the Future is particularly funny, especially Back to the Future 2, because it's 2015 where they predict all the stuff in 2015. It's so funny to hear like all their predictions, like resizing coats, flying cars, hologram jaws, all that stuff.
We've got all of that
A
stuff
good
now.
weather program.
What was the good weather? Oh, right, when
It's going to start.
adjusts the weather.
Yeah, we had a thing last week where it was like a tropical storm is going to hit Austin. Adam Baird sent an email. Everybody's got to get home by this time. Then we get home and nothing happens. It illustrates like how unreliable this whole
But Brandon,
industry
you
we
have
have.
to admit it has rained for the last 50 days in Austin.
I
This
know,
is the
but-
first day in 50 days that it hasn't rained.
Even
I'm
sprinkled
saying it was
today,
like
too.
this
Did
is
it?
going to be
Oh,
like a huge storm. Like you got to get home. You got to
It was
be
a hurricane.
careful.
It was a tropical depression that became a tropical storm and then made landfall in June in Texas.
Yeah.
That doesn't fucking happen.
Yeah, I was even when we were in LA when this happened. I was getting alerts on my phone like the Austin area forecast to get more rain than expected from
Yeah.
Tropical Storm Bill.
There's this great picture someone posted on Reddit at about 9 p.m. that night, and it was just a screenshot of one of the most crowded highways in Austin, and no one was on it, and not a drop in the sky, too.
What's the other bone I have to pick with Ashley? What was the other thing? Well, clearly she's looking at me so mad off screen.
Sassy.
Sassy. I'm upset with you now for going to the Ubisoft thing and not even telling me you went to the Ubisoft thing, and I didn't get invited to the Ubisoft
Payback.
thing.
You were with Gavin Meg.
Where was I with Gavin Meg?
I don't know. You had them, and then you brought them and you dropped them
He was with Gavin Meg. She was well, okay.
No. We had a whole conversation. You coming up here? Get up here. And then what was the other thing I get mad at you about? What was the other thing that we had? We were talking about something, and there was two things.
Is this how I get to get mad at you for getting one Pip-Boy instead of two?
Oh yeah. So here's the other thing where she gets mad at me about is I get on Amazon. I say I'm getting a Pip-Boy Fallout 4, and she goes. What would you say? You said, oh, that's what you said. And oh means also buy me one, and I didn't know that. So I didn't buy her one. They sold out, and then she blames me because she didn't get a Pip-Boy.
No, you pre-ordered one.
I pre-ordered
You said-
one.
You said, I got one. I said, did you get one for me?
No,
And
that
you
was
said,
not what you said.
Yeah. I said, did you get me one? You said, no. And I said, huh? Meaning, yeah, do it. I want a Pip-Boy too.
Eyewitness this fight at the
I
airport.
asked you if you got one.
It's pretty awkward.
What are you both going to use it for?
Nothing. It's a cheap
Like,
plastic
you
watch.
could put it in
can
your
have
house. I
mine.
get it, but what the two
Well,
of you...
she wanted one for the patch set.
You
which
can have mine.
is fine.
You can have mine. No, don't get so upset with me. Ashley and I had a great run.
That's my
where
pre-order.
Oh yeah, look at
We just spent
You going
like
for
what,
Esther?
a week and a half together, like not being apart. I thought we hadn't been apart for more than 5 minutes in the last week and a half, but apparently you're off to the Ubisoft event, like watching helicopters.
And apparently you're off like hanging out with people.
What was I doing?
I have no idea.
Where's Meg?
She's got
It's fine. It's fine.
mine are domestic.
It's fine. It's fine.
But you were with Gavin Meg. You were coming back from Sony. Oh, you were coming back from Sony
Dr. Phil.
because we didn't finish setting up in time to get to the Sony conference at full
so I was
screen.
working. We were doing the Sony stream with the Funhouse guys. Now it all makes sense, and they're all like, "Do look at that helicopter."
I
below
wish
us."
mom and dad would stop fighting.
You are not the father.
You did a great job at E3. You killed it. Blaine, don't you agree?
Oh yeah, definitely. It was a good time.
Blaine is MVP.
Blaine had the best spreadsheet in the world.
What was the spreadsheet?
I've never seen a spreadsheet that awesome. The one with all the what we were doing.
Oh, we
Yo.
built that. Yeah,
That was you?
Yeah.
It was awesome.
That was
To be fair, I stole it. We actually got a show director in who specializes in events like that.
Rob.
Rob
Talbert, who is awesome, and he I took his template and then added like 5 more columns.
There's a
stuff to
two-shot of
track.
us. They don't ever make a two-shot.
I was like, wow, that's impressive.
Hold on, watch this.
oh, you turn your back on me? I see how it is.
They did that for you and I when
You
we were
can play
having a
this game.
fight one day.
Don't bring this in.
Oh
bring it
yeah,
in,
yeah,
remember? Oh.
yeah. I remember.
I want to thank our sponsor, Razer. I do actually want to thank Razer because Razer, like, we just said, hey, is there any way we could get some computers for the booth? And they literally just came back and said, what do you guys need? And we said, can we get this? And they're like, sure. And they just sent us laptops to do it. Razer's awesome when it comes to that stuff. They've
Nice.
always been really, really good to us.
They're great. They got good products too.
Yeah.
They were a lifesaver. We ended up running a couple of the different games, like the Let's Plays and stuff, off of that laptop right there. Mm-hmm. It was awesome.
I'm sorry I didn't watch Game of Thrones with you. I really am. I want to apologize.
Kiss and make up.
In front of everybody.
Kiss and make up.
No. Nope. We're not fighting. This isn't a fight.
Kiss and make up.
Are you legitimately mad?
I'm a little bit disappointed because it was something that we've done every episode together. I was working super, super hard on E3, and you didn't wait for me.
I did, though. I did wait. I just watched it before I waited. I'm still waiting to watch it with you, if that matters.
All right, so if you
I'm doing
think
my commentary, my very
No
quiet
way.
commentary.
if you think Bernie's
Can't win.
right, then dial
Can't win.
555
All right, here, let me
429.
read this other thing.
Look
Oh.
at this, Ashley. You made
What-
Gus do an ad.
I'm gonna do an ad read.
I hope you're
How
happy.
dare you? Remind everyone, this episode of the podcast is also brought to you by me.
That's good timing because Paula threw away all my underwear.
Why did Paula throw in your underwear?
She does not care for it. She
shit
thought
your
like
pants.
they're boxers.
Does it have holes in it?
Some of them had holes
Is
in
it
it.
worn through, like in a whole bunch
She
of places?
apparently my boxers were too big.
Chocolate stains.
How's the elastic? Is it like actually
Worn.
hanging out?
You know,
Blaine
a little
was
worn.
Blaine
but
was describing on the strip how some of
comfy.
his underwear is so threadbare that like the elastic shows through the band. Ashley didn't even understand that.
That's not a thing that
It
you
is a
can
thing.
do.
I
Yeah,
think we
I
ran into we talked about it. I don't know, someone else had the same problem, but I was wearing torn underwear, which wasn't that big a deal. But I also happened to be wearing torn jeans in the exact same place. And I remember like just chilling and then looking down and being like, I can see my testicles.
Fuck, dude. I would probably use
Did you have
MeUndies.
like hair poking out?
Oh, I have no idea. Chris, maybe it was Chris who's in the same position. I'm not the only one that this has happened to.
If you're sharing company with Chris, you got to really question what you're doing with your life.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah,
So-
apparently fitting underwear.
Go to
lot
MeUndies.com.
of people on
MeUndies.com.
Twitter they say that Ashley's all wrong. So the Bernie's right and Ashley is not right, and she shouldn't get mad at them about something that she's not right about.
These are the people that are
This
tweeting at you.
is a quote. That's a quote I just read. What's that?
These are people that are tweeting at you, not Ashley.
No, they're using the hashtag.
Uh-huh.
One of them said, "Oh, Bernie's totally right, and she shouldn't get mad at me." I mean, him.
I'm
That's what she
also
said.
reading Take Your Lumps, Bernie Burns. That's also right here.
Wait,
So, are we gonna watch the last episode of Game of Thrones?
Yes,
When are we gonna do that?
tonight.
All right.
Unless
Don't spoil it for Ashley on Twitter.
you can
use
spoil.
an
You
angel.
can,
Fuck, now that you said that,
you
do
can
not get on your
spoil-
phone.
Like, you can
I'm
spoil
telling
all you
people
want.
not to.
I've
Don't
already
do-
been spoiled. That doesn't make me not want to watch it, and it doesn't make me not want to watch it with you.
Brandon,
That's the
before she
important
got
thing.
up here, you were all talk. You were like, "I totally agree with you, Bernie," and then she got here, and you're just making this like sideways smirk face. that you're making.
Don't try to pull me into it.
It's
not my fault. No, I agree with
Say the whole thing. Say the whole thing. Don't
I
stop
think
in the
Bernie's
middle.
in the right, just because it's like normally I would agree that you should wait, but it's like in this world, especially at this company, you cannot afford not to see something.
He'd already
Maybe
been
I feel like
spoiled on the part he watched.
part of
I didn't want other stuff to happen to me. I wanted that to contain the
You
spoiler.
had already been spoiled.
I've read the books too, but I didn't want to like.
So I was talking with someone. I was talking with Kirk, and we were talking about I think the final episode of Game of Thrones.
Okay, go ahead.
No. We recorded a supplementary audio podcast with Paul Scheer, which is
Yeah.
actually gonna
Brag about it.
is gonna air right after this. Not in the
I
live
can't believe I
version,
missed him.
but
He was
if
in our
you're,
he's
Yes.
awesome. He's super cool.
If
guy.
you're listening to the audio version of this, or if you're watching this on YouTube, you can go download our podcast on iTunes. So you can hear the supplementary portion with Paul Scheer. But
Just
while
watch it.
we were waiting to record, I was talking about the Game of Thrones finale with Michael and with Paul Scheer and Kirk, and we found out that Kirk hadn't seen the final episode yet. I was like, I don't want to. Yeah, she hadn't seen the last couple of episodes. He said, I don't want to talk about it for you. I don't want to spoil it for you. He was like, oh, don't worry, I've read the books. I was like, that's not a defense anymore, man. Things are so different now in the show in a lot of
yeah,
respects.
things are happening.
Have you read all the books?
Yeah.
Okay.
How many,
Give me the beer,
how many
will you?
times do you think you've asked me that on the podcast?
I don't know. I mean,
Cue the fan montage.
I want to see the montage of Bernie asking me if I've read the books.
And please auto
I'm
tune
not
it.
keeping track.
Can I open it for you?
Do it to it, bud.
That one's kind of fucked up. That was fucked up.
A little bit of strength there.
I also work triceps today.
Blaine, you're so weak.
First podcast, mom.
So we recorded some podcast Let's Plays. Let's do a little housekeeping since you said how to watch the podcast. We recorded some podcast Let's Plays. Chris's one where Play With Your Mom came out this week.
shit.
Next week should be
How
part
those
2 of
triceps blink.
Contagion. It's the couples podcast, but I don't know if we're going to have a couples podcast next week.
Oh no, you have to.
You
This
need-
is the perfect time.
You just need a couple couples.
Just
for
don't pull in one of us.
If it's any consolation to wrap this whole, back and forth routine, you guys were a great team at E3.
We were awesome.
We
I thought so, too.
All of us
We were
stayed
awesome.
up until like 3 or 4 a.m. working on the next day's schedule, and you guys powered through, and I was so
that
proud.
night,
Go ahead.
that was a moment between the three of us.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
That was
What's
a
this now?
serious moment.
We did
Was
not
it?
have a
I did
threesome.
not think that's where you were going.
Nope.
Yeah,
Nope.
that's where I thought.
But you guys did a great job, and I was like, wow, they're just a power couple, man. Like, I expect to see you guys at the gym, spotting each other.
I thought we were.
Is that your dream, Blaine? You want to have a girl who will spot you at the gym?
That would be awesome.
Blaine
Would
was
you
a
really?
fantastic producer.
I've actually heard that if you have a girl sit on you while you do bench press, you get more because of the testosterone. Shut up. I don't know.
Have you
you
tried
think
it?
like you
Sit-
smell
Yeah, I
the
have actually.
Sit on
Does
you
it work?
where exactly?
Yeah, I was like,
Wait, you're seeing the-
so it felt the desire to impress. And I
Like
was
sit
Well,
on
is
your
it the-
chest
just-
or
no, like just sit on, like on my
Is it
lap.
are you saying it's the pheromones? Like you're
When you're laying down, you don't have a lap anymore. She's straddling you, is what she's doing.
Sitting on
Yeah.
your dick.
Yeah.
You're mounted. At
Why
that
did you
point.
say? Why don't you just say
She's
it?
sitting in my lap.
I don't know. It's pretty cool though.
But though, if you have a female trainer, won't you want to impress that person anyway? I mean, without the straddling, or is the straddling just add another layer to it?
I think the straddling just adds another layer to it.
Okay.
It's just a more personal experience.
What-
Look horrified,
like-
Ashley.
Blaine, was the last
Visceral.
time you got laid?
Nope.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about that.
No, let's
Why'd
not.
you nope him out?
No, we're not going to talk about that.
What is this, Gavin?
Look, things happen.
Something happened last week.
No. Yeah.
he
Whoop.
bench press with a lady.
Yeah, I've been stressed with a lady. Burnie.
It happens.
So
It
Burnie.
happens.
So I think my favorite thing that we did on the stage was have Rocco out there from Mega64.
Oh, Rocco's awesome.
Or Andrew.
People keep fucking asking about that.
A lot of people weren't sure if that
Andrew
was a joke.
from the Whistler Project. What is it?
Wind Whistler
Wind
Project.
Whistler. You want to explain it? Should we just explain it?
Yeah, I don't know. He came up to talk about import games that'll never be imported to the U.S.
The too long didn't read of the whole thing is that Rocco from Mega64 he's a slow adult. He's retarded. That's the basic thing. But Rocco has a very specific sense of humor, and Gus and I really appreciate his sense of humor, and not everybody does. Not everybody does.
It was fucking
It's
funny.
probably the same people who are going to get mad at me for saying that
It was
word.
fucking funny.
Probably the exact same group of people. Be very upset. There were people who were very, very upset about him being on the E3 stage.
That was my favorite part.
Why?
Because
Meg,
I
it was
watched as
Meg's.
he like
Oh, God.
slowly
I-
just sunk into his chair.
I loved that part. First of all, because it was a nice long segment, so we had a couple minutes to breathe between running around organizing people for the next one. But then the moment you sat there watching it, every moment was golden.
Yeah.
He didn't break character the entire time.
He's pro.
No, he will never. Listen, he can outlast anybody, especially in the more humiliating the situation. Rocco is bottomless. He's shameless. He can go into any scenario and he will not give up. Yeah, he can outshame you for certain. So Gus and I had fun with it. Yeah, we were totally used to it. Like the whole thing about sliding down his chair. Not to give you too much of like how the sausage is made, but actually when they went to one of his clips, I showed him a tweet saying every time we cut back, that guy's further down in his chair. He went all the way down at that
He
point.
was on the floor.
Once he read that tweet, he was all the way down. It was hilarious, though. You just got to have an appreciation for it. It's like people I guess they think that E3 is like sacred and there can't be anything like goofy and fun. Like he was like defiling the effort. It was a fucking blast.
Yeah. And behind the cameras, like there was a huge gathering of people, and they were just like glued to the screens, like watching Rocco. It was funny. Like,
Meg
even
was
the
cackling.
Meg,
the
yeah,
entire
Meg
time.
was laughing. I don't know if that came across on the microphones that we were holding, but yeah, Meg was laughing. So hard.
Well, I mean, the whole production crew got really into it as well, with like the close-up cam, and they rolled the same trailer a couple of times, and they kept bringing up his lower third.
Yeah, they're like, let's bring up his lower third and see if he notices, because he wasn't Rocco.
Yeah,
he was Andrew.
like I kept looking around, acting like I was confused at the screen. Like, what is that trailer? And then my IFB, they were like, "Don't worry, he asked us to do this." I was like, "I know, it's okay, it's okay." Like off camera, but
They ended up really rolling with it. It was fantastic.
yeah, it was good.
Fun effort.
Taylor Stone drew you and Paula wearing a VR headset.
Oh, that's realistic. She punches me a lot.
You look at Homer Simpson.
It's the mouth.
A skinny one.
Sorry, Brady. Yes.
Oh,
Skinny
no, I
one.
look at the gut.
Skinny one.
I once had a trainer tell me that I was skinny fat. That wasn't cool.
Fuck,
That's
that
me.
trainer.
He was actually one of the guys that was probably at our, the South by Southwest podcast we did at the, what was that gym?
On it.
On it?
No,
it was at the
It was some other
MMA.
gym. Yeah.
Was that
Yeah, it was
the
an
Joe
MMA.
Rogan one?
Yeah.
Was that the Joe Rogan one?
Yeah, it was just like this one jerk to us, and I didn't realize that was the guy until after I already signed up for his class.
He was probably taking out on you because you went around that whole time just being like, "Can you guys bring it down a bit?" He's like, "Dude, we're at a party."
Yeah, it wasn't fun.
That was a.
But yeah, I'm
fun
skinny fat,
podcast.
so thank you.
I would consider myself skinny fat too. Like I don't consider myself overweight. I'm just really like what I've got is very squishy.
Ashley's
no
got
firm.
the weirdest fitness routine ever. Like, she'll take time off like 2 or 3 months and she won't do anything with it. Then she just gets on the treadmill and just runs 8 miles.
you
Like,
serious?
that's just a thing. She just runs 8 miles when she hasn't run in 3 months. It's like, who does that? If I ran 8 miles, I would be dead. I'd be laying there dead at the end of it.
Yeah,
How far can you run, Blaine?
Farthest I've gone is 10K.
10K.
So that's like
6 miles.
6 miles, 6 and 2.
That's gotta be
6.2
more.
miles.
That's gotta be at least 7.
I can
6.
comfortably run a 10K.
Really?
Yeah, it's 6.2. 10 kilometers.
Sorry.
But man,
It's all right.
I gotta go like 3 miles, then I gotta go like 5 miles. I gotta build up to.
I can go like 3
8
feet.
miles.
Yeah.
I'd love to get Gus on a treadmill and see how far he can go.
The pug can outrun me and outlast me.
Well, what you do
not
is
very
you
far.
just first of all get some TV up on the treadmill.
That helps?
I started watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Oh, yeah.
So funny, and that just makes you want to knock it off.
Blaine had a point right there, and he just dropped it. What's your point?
Oh, I've started to listen. Spotify has this new thing where it's the running feature, and basically it tracks how many like steps per minute you have, and then it makes music based off of that. It's the best thing
that's
ever.
awesome.
Oh, so it's like
fucking
it
great.
fits
That's
it hits
awesome.
the beat.
Yeah, and you can do like different genres. You can do like epic and
You
like
do different
cinematic
genres.
and then you can do like
Fucking got him.
nailed it, Gus.
What's your favorite genre?
Oh fuck. Yeah, it's pretty cool. You should try it when you run on the treadmill, Gus.
Hey, Brandon, I think out of this group, you might be the only person, maybe the only person who could take the devil's advocate position with, speaking of Spotify, what Apple's doing with their trial, or was doing with their trial for their Apple Music service. Did you hear about that?
Oh, they put U2 on the.
They just announced after the whole Taylor Swift thing that they will pay artists for appearing on their
Trial
service.
They'll
But
pay
they-
them during the trial period.
Yeah.
But they weren't going to. They were going to have the whole trial period, and during that time, artists wouldn't make any royalties or money
here's the
off
thing.
the songs that were being
But
played.
Apple never said that. Apple said we're having a 3-month trial. Then behind the scenes, they're telling artists you won't be paid for 3 months. So it's like what Apple's acting like a good guy, having their trial for free when really it doesn't affect them really in any way besides maybe some data servicing costs, and that's about it. And everyone's like, well, the artists will make more money down the road, but that's not what it's about. It's about Apple trying to get market share in an already existing market, and they're trying to they're going to use the artists to buy them into that. When Apple has more cash than any company on the planet, right, Gus?
Yeah, but how do you get a bunch of cash? By not fucking spending it.
Yeah.
Let's be serious here. I think it was all calculated.
They don't buy Apple products.
It was all planned. It was all calculated. Fucking publicity.
You think it was?
Absolutely. I'm a pessimist though.
Really?
Because now everyone's
Publicity
talking
for
about it. We would
Tay-Tay?
not be talking about this right now on the podcast if it hadn't happened.
But
this way.
there's no upside for Taylor Swift in that.
There
Now
is,
people
I mean,
people rally to her cause. They think she's like a powerful, influential person.
Yeah, but if it fails on her and it comes out that she was like in cahoots with Apple and the whole
It's
thing,
like a Kickstarter.
she's got way
It's
too
on
much to
her.
lose.
It's just she didn't exist pre-iTunes. Like she doesn't understand how good iTunes was for artists and how it ushered in.
iTunes pays.
It's how shitty things were before. I mean,
Fair enough.
things were shittier.
They were great for a long period of time. Then they got super shitty.
Yeah.
And then they got way better for artists.
Here's the thing with it. Even if they didn't pay artists, you're not forced to do it. You are given the option. Like we were given the choice where it says, do you want, Rooster Teeth, do you want to participate in Apple Music? And this was before this. And you can choose yes or no.
For instance, she's also not on Spotify's service because it has a free tier.
Right, and
Yeah.
she made a whole big thing about that, saying that artists didn't get paid enough on Spotify. This is months and months ago.
Because they have a
So-
free tier and they don't get a share of that.
Yeah, so Apple's not making money on the service. I mean, they're trying to get a user base. And they said, who wants to be in this? It's up to you. You don't have to do it, but if you want to do it, you can.
Right,
And
but-
then maybe her company, like her, the people who actually make those decisions said they're going to do it. And then she found out that, she's not going to get paid for it. And so she went to Apple directly.
Wouldn't you
'Cause I
consider
think
that
she
to
didn't
be
go
an
to Apple
investment on
directly.
Apple's
I'm
part?
sorry, not Apple directly,
She
but
wrote
she
an open
called them
letter.
out. Yeah. I mean, I can't imagine her, whoever, I don't know if it's Sony, whoever was like, all right, Taylor, we want you to call out Apple. She just probably didn't like the way it was going. But I mean, I don't know. It's just don't do it. It's your choice. You have a choice. It seems greedy to be like, no, I want to take advantage of this service, but I also want to get paid for it if no one else is going to be.
Yeah, I totally agree. And it's like you gotta. I mean, if you've got a service out there and Apple, a company the size of Apple is trying to get into a market that already exists, they need to spend some money to do that. They need to spend the cash to do that.
And as you noted, they have the money to do it.
They definitely have the money to do it.
You don't make money by spending it.
I
Yeah.
get it,
You
Gus.
don't make money by spending it.
But what
They
are
are
they
spending
what
the
gonna
money,
do
though,
with
with
all
the whole
money
service.
They have? Like, if you were Apple, like, what would you do with all that money?
But Brady, it goes.
When they just buy, you just buy your way into a new market
Yeah.
segment.
Like music.
Yeah,
You
like
do-
what they did
you
with
do
the
something
iPod,
like with Facebook.
or with the phone.
Did you buy WhatsApp for $18 billion? And that's a defensive move that Facebook did. It wasn't even to like grow their service really. It was just to keep WhatsApp from cutting into their service the way Instagram and Twitter have,
Well,
mean,
they
what
bought
else?
Instagram.
What?
Facebook
bought
bought
Instagram.
Instagram.
It's the same thing. Yeah.
Instagram.
Instagram. My
I mean,
genre.
they didn't have to buy into the iTunes or the digital sales market. They were basically it. Like there were other MP3 players,
streaming
they
services are not.
created that. Streaming, they're not. I
Right.
mean, streaming, they're way like in the dust. So it's probably already going to cost an astronomical amount of money to get to a decent point behind Spotify.
Well, they already spent all that money to buy Beats, and Beats has a music subscription
That's
service.
a big flop for them, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, remember when I did my at South by Southwest? I did a keynote that was back in 2006, and instead of talking about Rooster Teeth, I talked all about like content versus distribution. And back then, all I was talking about, which is now net neutrality, I was only talking about iTunes because Netflix wasn't really a streaming service at that point in time. But it's funny to me because I was defending iTunes as a content provider and people like Time Warner and AT&T as being access providers. But now, in a way, iTunes is like between that, and Apple's between that, where they're the access provider because they come out to all the way to our phones now, and they're also a content provider as well. You know, it's like it's interesting. They can't have both sides of it. To me, it's the same thing as like net neutrality, where you're gonna have tiers where you buy things. That's what people are worried about. Where Time Warner could say, well, you get our main tier, but then if you want Netflix, you have to pay for this. If you want web services, you have to pay for this. If you want Amazon, you have to pay for this. But it's like, if you don't have any of those things, what do you have? The Time Warner homepage?
Right.
Who wants to go to that? Yeah. I'm going to pay $50 a month to be able to go to the Time
You
Warner
can check
homepage.
your Time Warner email.
It's like the content does have value, too. It has an enormous amount of value.
I can't wait until internet's bundled like the way they fucked up cable bundles. Oh, you want our shopping bundle? Get Amazon and what's another fucking shopping site? Buy.com for
eBay.
$15 a month. eBay. Yeah, eBay. No, that's an auction. That's the auction package.
I don't know. I guess I look at what artists get from iTunes sales, and you compare that to the amount of take that retail stores used to take, and plus just cost of manufacturing, cost of storage in a warehouse, and to see what iTunes does for people and the share, it's like I have a hard time being okay with any artist criticizing that service. Because it's like, you are so lucky. I'm sorry. I'm getting emotional. I don't know. I'm getting emotional.
This is a very emotional podcast. I've just been
I
sitting here like a
think Brandon
dumbass.
is secretly an artist.
I think Apple watched Game of Thrones without Taylor Swift. I think that's what really happened. They watched it separately.
You guys still got the 2-shot. You have any other problems you need to work out?
What's that?
You have any other problems you need to work out?
No, we're good.
Just work it
good?
out through the 2-shot.
Okay.
Ashley, do we have any problems we need to work out? Anything you want to air while we're on screen? Actually, I never argue about anything.
Let's get a Festivus poll in here.
What's the biggest argument we've
That's
had?
why he had to periscope it.
What's the biggest argument you think we've had?
Oh, defense mechanism.
Right.
And Periscope it.
He periscoped our argument.
That's
That's like-
awesome.
that's
oh my God. Thank you for that idea.
Pretty safe call. It's like, we're having fun. You're just like secretly.
Is it okay if I also do
Defuse.
that?
What's that?
Can I take that idea?
Yeah, if you periscope an argument.
Sweet.
Yeah, she got.
Man.
She went from mad to grumpy.
I see
that's
that.
Good. That's good. That's good maneuver. I think the
No,
biggest.
it just went underground to simmer.
We-
That's
we-
no good for anybody.
The biggest argument I think we had was in Italy when you almost drove us off a cliff with Google Maps. You could
no.
done a goat
Oh my
trail.
God. Were you navigating for Burnie while
Yeah.
he was driving?
Yes.
Oh, that's scary, right?
It's super scary,
Yeah.
especially when you're going up the side of a mountain, like full tilt.
Yeah, I've been there.
There's no
Just like
such
turn
thing.
right, and there's like a
There's no
goat.
such thing as a switchback.
Chewing a tin can, like on a little trail. She said, "Turn there." I'm like, "There's nothing there."
There were some indentations where tires might have gone in years gone by.
And Google Maps knew it. Like they knew that was a road, and like we were driving down this, like straight down the mountain. I think we went up like 1,000 feet in a minute. Like that's how steep these roads were.
It
We
was
were going so
pretty
fast.
crazy. And then we got to a point in this little village thing where there was one traffic light that managed like every single road that went through a cathedral.
Yeah, the road went through a church. It was the weirdest thing ever. But it was like you couldn't see. Like you got to the
Drive-through
stoplight,
sermons.
and the stoplight was extra long because it was one road that went all the way to the town. So the stoplight had to be long enough for at the other end of town it gets a green. They come all the way through the town, through the cathedral, out past you before their light turns red.
Jesus.
And then your light has turned. So they run the yellow.
What?
It's got to be long enough time for them to get all the way through the town, like 4 blocks.
Did
but
Dr. Seuss invent this town's layout? or
You're
some
driving
shit?
under the church, right?
No. You're driving like through. There's like an arch.
we're not
and you're
driving through the middle of like a service or anything.
It's
It's not
I
the
can't get
inside
that in
of
my
the
head.
church, but it's like there's a big cathedral,
a tunnel
and
that
there's
goes
a
through
tunnel
it.
in the middle of the
Yeah.
cathedral.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Tunnel through it.
Did you see? I read this article. I think it was last week that there's this stoplight in Germany that's been red for 29 years,
Really?
and it's intentionally red because legally it's a weird intersection. Because you come to the intersection and you can't go straight. You can make a right turn, but in order to make people stop before making the right turn, they have to have a red light there.
That would confuse Bruce.
They can't just have a stop sign.
They
and
said
a
that
right
the
turn
way
lane.
that the traffic laws are written in Germany, a stop sign does not perform the same function as the red light. So they need to have a red light there. And it's like a normal red light with a yellow and green light that just never turn on.
What's the difference between a red yield sign and a yellow yield sign?
Yellow
both
means
mean
yellow.
yield.
Stop.
red yield sign means you have to stop before you
Yeah.
can proceed.
Then why is it
Yellow
not a
just means
stop
proceed with
sign?
caution.
Wait a minute, a red yield sign. There's no such thing as a yellow
Yeah.
yield sign.
Yeah,
Come on,
there's
res-
some
about-
yield signs are yellow, some are
No,
red.
all
No.
yield
Nope.
signs are red.
I've never seen a yellow yield sign. Where have you seen
Yeah,
a
they're
yellow
like
yield sign?
caution signs.
Why did you bring this up? You've got mad about something that doesn't exist.
Are you talking about lights or signs at this
I
point?
think I've seen a yellow yield sign.
There has been a yellow yield sign, I
I've seen a
swear.
yellow yield sign.
There's a thing right around the corner from here.
Two things.
Two things. I don't know what the other thing is, but there's two things right around the corner from here that make me mad. One is they have a stoplight, a traffic light, where they've invented a new kind of signal. Oh, there's another one right down the corner.
Yeah,
You're right.
there are two.
So
can count.
there's two lanes going straight, and there's a left turn lane. And they have a left turn signal,
Oh.
but it's a yield signal. So it's a blinking yellow arrow.
Yeah.
It goes from
Right.
red to blinking yellow. I've never seen that before
It's
in my
instead
life.
of the solid green, so you don't get you don't infer that it's good to go. You still have to have caution when making the turn.
Right, which
Right.
a green light just has done.
Oh, yellow yield.
Yeah, I was
Where
right.
that's some fucking Mexico. Mexico.
New Mexico.
Mark it.
You have to
Mexico.
go-
22nd,
Mexico for the example.
2015. The day that
New Mexico,
Brandon
which has managed to
shined.
be the shitty version of Mexico.
Mexico.
The other light that's the problem is there's a T intersection just down the road where
Fuck that light.
It's a stoplight.
Fuck that light.
It's two of the lanes turn left and one turns right. So whoever was doing the city planning decided to be extra helpful and throw all the things that we know about turning on left at a light and turning on right on light and just throw those out the window. So instead they made their traffic signs with left arrows for the two left lanes that are green or yellow or red. Pretty straightforward. But then they have that for the right too. So you get a right red light, but it's a
I'm
lost me.
so fucking
Yeah, I
lost
know what
right
you know
now.
what you're talking about.
and I'm
I'm confused,
confused.
and I know exactly what you're talking about. So it's just
a
a light
it's a
where
red right
when
turn
you go to
arrow.
turn right, it's a red arrow instead of just a red light. It's
Oh,
a red
which
okay.
arrow,
normally means you can't do it
which
no
says
matter
which
what.
basically says don't turn
do it.
right.
Yeah.
Right, it's a
Even
stop.
though you can turn right on red. And,
Nah, I buy it.
I heard an urban legend that the city planner of Austin killed himself.
it's the guy who designed I-35 made it split level.
Yeah.
The urban legend is that guy killed himself.
Yeah.
No,
It's not true?
I don't believe it's true.
Okay. Snopes.
Aren't they trying to add more lanes to
They're
the
gonna-
top level?
They
Both the
I
top
heard
and
they
the bottom.
determined years ago that the upper deck of I-35 was not strong enough to support more lanes.
Oh, great.
But then they just ran another study and goes, nah, it'll be fine. That's literally what they did.
Well, I think it'll
They
be
just had
okay.
another study where they revised their findings, and now they're going to add more lanes up there.
There's a
Yeah, they said give us $20 million and we'll make sure to pack these things.
We got polymers and
Yeah.
shit. now.
There's a government website that they go through and they grade city structures, like highways and bridges and stuff like that. And you can see all of the structures in the United States, like dams, bridges, all sorts of stuff. And we're like really shit.
Yeah.
Like we have like F's and D's on some of
In
our.
Austin?
Oh no! Well, yeah. I mean, our dam. Oh shit.
Longhorn Dam is like decrepit.
Yeah.
Does that one
it's
have a D?
Fucking falling apart.
Very good.
Thank you.
Good one.
Here, I'm gonna read this other one.
read
Final
this
one. I want to remind
I'm
everyone
a
this
very poor
episode of the
substitute for
podcast
Barb.
is also brought to you by.
I met the Squarespace dude at E3. He was a
Oh,
very
I met
nice
him
guy.
too.
Very
Yeah.
nice guy. And I told him how much I appreciate him sponsoring our podcast among other productions.
Yes.
I'm not loading my vault up, by the way.
I met Adam Sessler and I saw Cliffy B and I saw I met
Was
Rod Ferguson.
Adam Sessler wearing his hat like a little bit tilted back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was really cool because him and Morgan Webb got back together to do that show.
The Bethesda pre and post.
It was cool to see them together again.
Bernie, can I see some?
You go ahead.
So I lived with Joe the Cat basically for like a year and a half
You
at
did?
the office.
Oh.
Yeah, and there was a pretty scary moment where he just got away from me, like left.
And
he,
I told you not to worry about it.
I know you
can't.
don't have to worry about it. So I'm asking you, like, what's like the actual scariest moment you've ever had with Joe the Cat?
With Joe the
Is your
cat?
pug missing?
No.
Kenny.
Yeah, like, has there been a moment where you're like, holy shit, like, I'm afraid for Joe the Cat's life?
Man, I can't recall a certain one. I guess JD's allergic to cats. Once I found that out, I thought I had to get rid of the cat, but JD's like, nope, don't get rid of the cat. I'll deal with it.
Well, do you see the guy? He
Props
was
to
like,
JD.
Yeah, he just takes Claritin.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
him and
And the
his,
cat just sits on his
Which
lap
is
all day.
good.
Like, the cat like hugs up to him more than anybody else.
Oh yeah.
this guy and his friend, they went hang gliding, and as they were up in
Oh,
the
yeah.
air, they looked to their left and they saw a cat
There it
just
is.
sitting
There it is.
there.
Oh.
And like I think some time went by before they realized, but
Of
it's
course.
just like you would imagine the animal would be freaking out, but that just looks like the cat has no idea. He's
It looks like
just
the cat
chilling.
knows enough to hold on. Like,
Yeah,
it's
I don't think they were hang gliding. I think they were in an ultralight.
yeah, that's motorized.
Yeah, you can see the guy
Oh,
looks
yeah,
up,
definitely.
notices this lady. Is it a lady? The person on the right has no idea what's going on, and the pilot there on the left notices it and just quietly lands.
Yeah, if he freaks out, sees it, and then lands, and you can tell we don't get that far in this GIF that we're showing, but you can tell he does like doing everything in his power to hide it from her. Like he doesn't react to it.
I wonder if it's her cat.
I wonder if she's afraid of cats. She's like, I'm gonna go flying. It's gonna calm my nerves. I'm gonna get away from cats. Oh my god!
It's gonna be like that.
It's like the last place you expect to find a cat.
Alien.
It's gonna be like the Twilight scene, right? Where you look out and there's like an alien on the plane or on the wing.
Oh.
Yeah, like
Twilight
Twilight
Zone.
There's something
What's
on
it?
the wing.
Shatner and the gremlin on the wing.
Yeah.
Thing.
I thought you meant. You said
the wing.
Twilight.
I did
was
say
like,
Twilight.
You know what's funny is the
You
only
said Twilight Zone, didn't you?
No, he
You said Twilight.
He said Twilight.
We were making we see.
Sparkly
You and I
vampire.
are on
No,
the same
no,
page.
Brandon, don't do the finger.
I was trying to figure out where it was
We're
going
not
with
that way.
vampires too. Then I
Yeah.
figured it out. The only thing I only know that episode of Twilight Zone because of Ace Ventura.
Oh,
Is that what
yeah.
it was?
Yeah.
There's
Oh, I thought you were gonna say The
something on wing.
Simpsons.
Something.
The little
on the
shop.
wing.
Yeah.
Gotcha. The Treehouse of Horror.
Yeah.
So as far as fights go, not a bad fight. Not a bad fight.
Who?
The
one that
Game of Thrones thing.
we just witnessed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, we just spent a week and a half together.
Could be worse.
See, perfect.
Look at that face. I've seen that face before. Yeah, it's me saying Game of Thrones. It's
red versus blue.
And it's like I was telling Lawrence about it. We were talking about Game of Thrones, and I mentioned that I had seen the most recent one. And as soon as I said it, I was like, I just fucked up big time.
Well, see, here's the other thing though. I didn't catch that at the time, and then he took pains to point out that he had just let it slip.
You were kind of egging her on, weren't you?
A little bit.
You want to see where it would go?
No, I promise I wasn't egging her on. Actually, I didn't know it was actually that big a deal. We were joking about it at drinks, and then we got back, and she told me she was actually legitimately upset about it, which is rare. I don't see her get upset.
Periscope.
I
She
feel
was-
like
I'm trying to think, what have you got mad at me about? You got mad at me about anything else?
Nope, not really. I'm
Easygoing.
a very easygoing individual, except when you mess up terribly and do something like that.
She's laid back.
So you were mentioning that road that ran through a cathedral.
Yeah.
Did you have you ever seen that building? There's a building in Osaka, Japan, where a freeway runs through it.
Oh, yes, I have seen that.
It's a very similar thing where I guess the building owner wanted to redevelop it, but the city already had plans to build a freeway. So the freeway is the tenant of floors like 5, 6, and 7 of the building.
That's awesome.
And the freeway just runs.
I love
through
the
middle
idea of
the
a
building.
freeway paying rent.
so cool.
Yeah, it's like, but I mean,
Does it have a
what-
mailbox?
What happens when the freeway doesn't pay rent? Like you can't kick it out.
I also like the idea of like living above that floor. It's like, yeah. It's like the worst room in town.
Have you ever seen that image? I don't know if it's from Russia or like North Korea, where it's a block of apartment buildings, and they're all in a row except for one is too far out. Have you seen that before?
No.
I gotta find a picture of that. I'm trying to think of what that's called. Somebody on
Too far
Twitter.
out in what way?
Well, like they're all
Oh,
in a
there we
row.
go.
Oh,
There's-
wow.
that's Osaka.
that's so
Oh,
that's
yeah,
awesome.
It's off
dude.
there to the right. You see the
Okay,
building.
that's super
Yeah.
cool. I would totally be in that building.
No,
Me
I
too.
wouldn't.
I wouldn't live in that building, but I would be in it.
It looks like
for
a
short period
level
of time.
of a video game racing game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Looks like somebody
Like Need
made a
for
big
Speed?
mistake in SimCity.
That's what I was thinking. somebody done goofed.
Somebody modded that SimCity.
consequences will never be the same.
Isn't there a road in an airport, I don't know, in Asia where the road goes through the airport? Like it actually, like on one of the runways, there's like a red light and a green light.
Oh no, that's at Gibraltar.
Yeah, could you
The
imagine?
airport,
being-
where the road goes across the freeway. Whenever a plane's taking off or landing,
Yeah.
the road gets close, so a plane can cross.
They do the same thing with
They hook up.
St. Bart's, because the planes had to come down a hill to land. Basically, they had to like cut down a mountain and then land.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's like I knew it was a bad airport because when you look up the name of the airport, it's people trying to land there in flight simulator games and wrecking. And then the one footage they have of the actual airport, the thumbnail is it's on one side it's a mountain and the runway runs and this ocean the other end. It's just a plane sticking up out of the ocean, like the tail fin of the plane. That's the thumbnail.
Pass.
So that's the Gibraltar airport. I don't know if you can tell. Like the runway goes across the road, and they're having to stop traffic on both sides.
See, they just built shit
Don't
in
they just
Europe
dig
before they
under?
knew they were going to have an airport.
Yeah,
Same
but
thing. They
don't
built
you
that
just-
cathedral, and then it's like, we need a fucking road that goes through here.
Don't you just make a tunnel though? I mean, there are all kinds of airports
Tunnels are
around
expensive.
here in LA in particular where roads just.
They
Is
would
it
probably
LA?
they would probably
Maybe
have
it's
to
not LA. Maybe
close
I'm
the
thinking of
runway
Sydney.
to do that.
I might be thinking of Sydney, where they dig a tunnel underneath the runways and just the freeway just it goes free.
But
It's
I
like
think-
that's
better.
billions of dollars.
Yeah, I think in this case they would have to close that runway, and it's like they need like there's no other alternative in order to build that. So it's like they're kind of fucked.
So stoplights, gotcha.
Stoplight, yeah, so it's fine. I'm sure it'll be okay. It's whatever.
So it runs a light. They're I mean, those engines, they would just blow a car away, too.
Yeah.
I wonder if people get extra mad at me because I'm that guy that's on my phone that gets stuck at the red light. And then I get to go and everyone else doesn't. And there's just like a plane waiting.
Hey, Burnie has your vault.
Let's see. Somebody put up a poll.
Ooh.
You voted Burnie was right or Ashley was right.
Hold on.
It's
Straw
21 to
poll.
20.
Hold on.
You're,
Hold
don't
on.
worry. Don't worry.
I get to have
Your
a say.
computer has already
I get to have a
voted.
say.
Your computer has already voted.
I wonder who we voted for.
Oh, really?
So someone has made an online
So what you're
poll
saying,
where people can
what
vote.
you're saying is it was even until you threw it off.
No.
You're interfering with the voting process.
Nope.
I haven't. I was going to, but I haven't, and that makes me pure.
This is part. How do you know I didn't vote
Just
for
when
you?
we thought we
Maybe
were
I agree
out.
with you.
Is this a better process or going to
Pulled us
someone
back
like
in.
a psychologist and having him decide who's right and who's wrong?
No, that's
Or her.
I don't think that works. Like the couples therapy thing.
Yeah.
You mean because they would decide I'm right?
Probably in this case, because it was something we did together. All right, I want to formally apologize for watching Game of Thrones. But it was a great episode, wasn't it? See the 9th episode. We're gonna watch the rest.
Oh,
of
did
them
you
tonight.
have you seen?
Salt on the wound.
Did you watch True Detective season 1 yet?
No.
Have you seen
I finally did this weekend.
season 1's so good.
Yeah, it took me a while to get into it, but then the show like drastically changes after like maybe like
Oh,
episode
votes are coming in
3
now.
or 4.
Yeah, like episode 3. I think it's episode 4 that ends with that long tracking shot.
Yeah.
During when all the shit goes down.
Yeah.
And you're just like, wow, what the fuck am I
69.
watching?
Oh, look at it
It's
go.
like basically once they finally finish doing the thing where they're telling the story, to
Yeah.
the investigators and everything's just kind of like you're being caught up, then I think it gets really fun.
I feel like we need to
Did
start
you-
like kissing babies or something.
No.
Do we have to set up like?
Did you-
Ungrateful
Do we have
people.
to set up like a college of?
I'm out here every
something,
week.
Something.
Shit, Ashley's slowly gaining.
Slowly, she just went from even to like
Hey,
she's like
Look at that pie
20%
chart.
ahead.
Slowly becoming
If it helps, I want
Son of
everybody
a
to know that
bitch.
Brandon thinks Burnie is right. So if that helps you in your vote,
Bernie, you're
yeah,
losing
thanks,
votes.
Brandon.
I'm just a
Thanks.
neutral party. I love both sides. And
Yeah.
Did you
Son
see?
of a
Did you see
bitch.
the season 2 premiere?
I did see the season 2 premiere, yeah.
Shameful.
And I was waiting for something fun and interesting to happen, but it just kind of felt very
I thought-
dry
You don't
and
find
boring. And it
Vince
didn't
Vaughn
have
to
the
be interesting?
charm that the season 1 did with like the southern Louisiana.
Yeah, no, I felt the same way up
Bayou.
until like literally the last 45 to 60 seconds of that episode when
Yeah.
like everyone finally comes together and there's like that circular shot like showing everyone looking at each other.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, this finally seems kind of interesting, but it was a lot of establishing and a lot of setup trying to figure out where it's going.
The one thing I thought was really cool, and it's not a spoiler really. So this guy's kid is getting beat up at school, and so
that's
he
sad.
finds out the kid that's beating him up, and he goes to that kid's house.
Wait, you see the rest
Did
of the
he beat
show?
him up?
And instead of like messing with the kid, he pulls the kid out and he pulls the dad and he beats the shit out of the dad.
Yeah.
And just says,
That's the move.
You
Yeah,
keep
and-
messing with my kid, I'm gonna face fuck your dad.
Yeah, he's like, like the kid tries to run away and he grabs the kid. He's like, you did this. You're responsible for this that's happening right now.
What character does this?
The Colin Farrell character.
Did you hear that Colin Farrell admitted to being a suspect in a murder case,
Yeah, there was like
Yeah.
one of the late night
Oh,
talk show
who-
interviews.
Just a
legitimate-
suspect.
but that went unsolved?
Well, he wouldn't admit it unless
We've all been there.
Unless he's
Look-
trying to deflect.
Look, he just needed that experience. Otherwise, how is he gonna do method?
Yeah, he's method acting. That's all he's doing.
By that being a suspect in a
since.
murder case,
No. Just ever since.
an unsolved murder case. Gus, what you got over there? You look like you're in the middle of something.
I'm just checking out.
Well, see, it appears that poll went offline. Sorry, everybody.
Did you
Fucking assholes.
Really?
Get it out of pocket.
no.
Take it down.
I,
You don't need
uh,
that shit.
I signed
Here's
up.
our console has gone offline too.
Have you
Fuckers,
heard
don't plug
about?
it.
Have you heard about? We haven't talked about this. Have you heard about Google's Project Fi? Anybody?
No.
Yeah.
Yes.
I got one of those phones in. And
how is it?
I've been trying it out. It's really interesting. I'm not like an Android user. I've been in iOS pretty much forever since the beginning of time. And so it's really interesting to switch over to Android and use the phone. Except I had a problem right out of the box.
What was that?
So I take out the phone out. It's like plug it in. You activate it, go through the steps and everything. Then I'm like, great. Here's my brand new phone out of the box, booted up for the first time. I was like, okay, I want to see what Google Maps looks like. I launch Google Maps. It's like, in order to use Google Maps, you have to update Google core services or something. Like, okay, so it takes me to software update. So I hit whatever Google blah blah shit service. I hit update.
Well, that was your first problem. I don't think it was under shit service.
downloading.
I'd be surprised.
It's like installing failed. Error code 941.
Whoa.
I was like, that's weird. Install. Failed. Error code 941. Yeah, let me just reboot the phone. Reboot the phone. All right. Google Maps. Google Maps cannot work. You need to update Google core services. Update. Download. Failed. Error code 941. Fuck. What the fuck is this? So I go to my computer and I type in the error code. It's like, try deleting your app cache. Okay. Delete the app cache. Update failed. Error code 941.
That's
Fuck.
the shit you
Time
should never have to
sucked.
do on a phone. Is Google error
Yeah,
numbers?
tried. I found another solution.
Especially because you can't Google them from the phone.
There you
Yeah,
go.
delete this other thing. Nope. Error code 941. Fuck. I found another solution that was like, go to settings. It's like this buried thing. Tell it to reset Google core services to factory default or whatever. So restore to factory default. Are you sure your phone's going to be reset to factory? It's like, it's already factory. I just fucking pulled it out of the box. Reset to factory. Update successful. Like, the phone's fine. The service is great. Why the fuck can it not complete a software update out of the goddamn box?
Well, that's why you needed the software update.
It's like, you couldn't use anything. Everything Google related said, nope, you can't use this. You need to update.
So
then
And
the
at
update was
what
error
point in
code.
the testing
broken.
do they not discover that?
Right,
You
it's
know,
like-
I mean,
no shit.
why?
yeah.
They probably did it, and then like the people are like, no, it has to release in this date, and they're like, what are we gonna do? Like, well, just day one, or is it day 0 update? Like
Wait.
they shipped a product that they knew was
But the
bad.
update was broken.
Just announced Kickstarter.
I was
for
doing
it.
the update.
Was
Yeah,
it
so it's-
Kickstarter?
So
Yeah.
they
Use
sent
the
this to you as
Shenmue
just a trial thing?
strategy.
No, I bought one.
Oh, you
just
bought
to,
one.
Just to try it out.
You bought one,
Dude,
huh?
so it initially works on one model of phone,
The
right?
Nexus 6.
The Nexus 6. So that's Samsung phone?
No,
Samsung?
it's a Google phone.
What does it do? Like,
Cool.
why'd you get it?
It's
What's
so it's
Samsung's?
interesting because
Galaxy.
it operates
My bad.
on different cell phone networks. So the Nexus has a bunch of different cell phone antennas in it. So it can connect to the T-Mobile network or the Sprint network or your Wi-Fi network. So like, let's say you're in here where there's no service.
Is
you
it
can,
Verizon as well?
No. You can
Just the two?
Yeah, you can make phone calls over the Wi-Fi since the cell phone service doesn't work here. Then when you walk outside and you lose your Wi-Fi, it'll switch over to T-Mobile or Sprint, whichever has the strongest signal.
That's awesome.
And as you're moving around or driving around, it's constantly hopping onto whatever network's strongest.
That's amazing.
It's also like it has apparently a network of just like public Wi-Fi. It'll find a public Wi-Fi if that's available.
I would kill for that in this building.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
Yeah.
AT&T said that they're going to have Wi-Fi calling sometime in 2015.
Isn't that like
T-Mobile
a
had that
security
like
risk,
a
though?
year ago.
Yeah, well, I think with iOS 8, it was available by default
Yeah.
on Apple devices. The carrier just has to enable it. And T-Mobile, I think, enabled it right away. And AT&T said they would do it at some point this
We
year.
just have the worst cell phone reception, and every time I know I'm on hold for more than 10 minutes, I'm like, I'm gonna get fucked.
I'm bailing on Apple as soon as I can find a decent Android phone.
Yeah, you're having some
I'm-
major issues.
I'm fairly
with that
happy
phone
with the
this weekend.
Nexus, except for my
Are you?
initial software update problem.
Well, there's no Fallout Shelter on Android.
What's
That's a problem.
sad is I put
What's
this
your
on,
vault up
on the
to?
Google Nexus. The Nexus screen is bigger than my entire 5S.
Really?
Yeah, it's like this feels like a tiny little toy now.
Well, I'm sure it's the same with my
Yeah, I
Plus.
think it's the same size as the Plus. Yeah.
Well, my fucking Plus won't rotate. It's just like I show everybody when I have a problem with it. It's like I constantly have problems with my iPhone. Ashley's probably here.
May I see it? I might be able to fix it.
Why?
He threw it across the booth at the E3 because he was so
witnessed
mad
it.
at it.
Here's why. Get out of here.
Not gonna get your nudes.
Here you go. Here's why I threw it. I threw it because.
He's got helicopter gifts.
Oh, okay, never mind.
What are you doing? You looked at
I was
my
trying to see if you had the rotate thing on.
helicopter gifts. No, it'll rotate, then it won't rotate back. So half the time I'm using my phone sideways like that. It's a known issue with the iPhone 6.
Well, one time Brandon was like, "My phone's just not working. My phone's just not working," and I was like, "You got it on Do Not Disturb."
so you really
mode."
thought my problem was at the Brandon level of solvability? Is that what
I'm
you're
sorry,
Hey.
Bernie.
That's insulting. That's insulting.
Sorry.
That was legitimate. I was like, I don't
Not
understand
really.
why I'm not getting notifications. Do you know how many updates they do for iOS? It wasn't long after they updated iOS.
I think we're at the
didn't-
8th.
I didn't know.
Really?
No, I'm saying like when they introduce a new iOS, there's like hundreds of new features. One of them is the Do Not Disturb thing, and I had no idea it even existed. I don't
How did
go
you
through
enable
the
it
list.
then?
It must have been I just accidentally like touched a button,
It's in.
and I had no idea what the button was.
I'm tired
It
of all the
is in the
swiping
swipe up
stuff.
menu.
I'm tired of all
Like-
the swipe down and swipe up stuff.
Yeah,
Because
it's
Periscope gets in the way of all of it too. Like if you try to do anything in Periscope, it's just like it never does anything the first
I
time.
like that in Periscope. Whenever you flip the screen, it goes black for like 3 seconds.
And the sound cuts out.
Anytime you want to end a Periscope, it always ends like this. Can you swipe? God damn it! Swipe. No, hold on.
You're like, bye everybody.
Fun of it, some
Forget.
and then
Forget.
it finally ends. As you finally get it to swipe down and end the broadcast.
Does anybody else get paranoid after a little bit after a Periscope that what if you didn't close it, and what if
happens.
everybody can hear you right now?
It happened. That happened.
Oh,
where,
God.
One time, where if your connection fails and it's just connection lost, it doesn't matter. The Periscope continues to record and then uploads when you get a connection again.
Are
Awesome.
you serious?
Yeah. Yep. I'm
Like,
actually
what if you
surprised.
get a phone call and then it just?
I don't know about that. Just get rid of the app. That's my recommendation. Just swipe the fuck out of that app and get rid of it.
I remember
that
like
will cancel it though. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember thinking about like, oh my god, like getting paranoid about it during like nighttime stuff. and being
During
like,
nighttime stuff?
nighttime
Sex.
stuff.
Like
yeah.
sleeping.
Thanks, Blaine, for filling us in.
Doing reps with a girl on your lap.
And I was like, I know I closed it, but I don't know what if not. And I was like, well, I guess I'm this far, and I guess I can just go to Reddit and see if there's a thread about it if I didn't. But like, that seriously can happen. Like, I don't know why that hasn't happened to somebody yet.
That is surprising.
It
We
did.
talked about. Oh,
It happened to Bethesda.
That was Twitch.
They were on Twitch. They were live streaming, and they were like, "Okay, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. We're gonna talk about Dishonored 2 and show the trailer for Dishonored 2. Then we'll talk about this." And somebody goes, "Hey, I think we're live," and they're like, "Yeah." And then they were actually live, and they talked
Yeah.
about Dishonored before their press conference.
Yeah,
They
shit.
leaked their own stuff. It was what, a day beforehand?
It was a day
Yep.
before.
It wasn't super.
Didn't get a lot of
ahead
traction.
it, but still.
Yeah.
There's a thing like that earlier. We have an arcade machine, I guess, that we're working on.
Marcus and Tim were working on it today. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah, and it was right outside my office, and they were being so loud, and I was like, ugh, and I like got up, and I was gonna go yell at them, and then I saw you were periscoping, and I was like, ugh, like walked
You
back.
turned into Tim Allen from Home Improvement.
Right. Right. You find out you're on
Nice.
Periscope and suddenly you have to put on all your manners. Be nice.
It's not a man. I mean, it's
Pretend you're not mad.
Do you know what I've discovered?
What'd you discover?
Since they've made that arcade machine and put it up in here, is that nobody who works at a video game company or a video game based company or the best video game developer in Austin, according to the Austin Chronicle, nobody here knows anything about any fucking arcade games. Marcus had never heard of Robotron.
Wow.
And I was like, that's like one of the first 8 video games ever,
Yeah.
that was ever made. But nope, nobody knows anything. It's like, do you have this? It's like, I don't know what that is. It's like, you don't know what track and field is? It's like,
Do you know what Robotron is?
do you know what Robotron is? Do you know what Robotron is?
No.
Get
You
that
really
humanoid.
don't know what
Get
robot-
that humanoid.
It's one of the first 8
That's
video
Berserk.
games
Is that
ever
Berserk?
created.
Yeah.
Fuck.
What's the control scheme for Robotron? What's the control scheme for Robotron?
It's the
a moth in his head.
You don't know what a
the puck.
Robotron is.
It's the puck, isn't it?
You don't know what Robotron is.
So basically,
What's
you just,
going on here?
I think
So
Burnie
you
just
were
invented
just getting
Robotron.
really upset with everybody, and it turns out nobody knows
It's
what it is
Robotron.
except you.
It's Robotron 2084, right?
Right, it's 2 joysticks, dude. It was the first joystick where you move with one and you shoot with the other.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's great,
Really?
Bernie.
Yeah, I was totally thinking of Berserk. This
We're
is
all
Robotron.
really proud of you. Do they have it at pinballs?
I don't know if they have Robotron, but they have it on those Williams machines where they have a bunch of Williams games on them. You guys don't know what
I
Williams
just
is.
want to play. They have like old Star Wars arcade games. I just want to play that.
Did you guys ever pay for both guns and then try to do both guns in a shooting game?
Fuck
And
yeah,
it's like
Terminator.
it's just
Area
like
51.
It's
No.
a disaster.
John Woo style, Area 51, just with 2 guns.
I'm
I
sure,
love it.
I'm sure the arcade owners love when you do
Wait,
that.
what was your favorite arcade game?
Man, you look
My
so
favorite
cool.
arcade game was probably Tempest.
Tempest. Okay, that's the Robotron era. It's a little after it, but yeah,
That one had a puck.
that one had a puck.
Yeah.
Tempest had a puck.
Time Crisis. That was awesome.
Time Crisis. Okay,
Any
DDR.
racing game I'll destroy.
you name one though. Really?
Cruising in the world, cruising in the world, or cruising in the USA.
Cruising USA. That's right.
Yeah, it took me a while to think.
Cruising
I've
USA.
never
It took
seen
you a while to think, and-
so much of the whites of Blaine's eyes when I asked that question. It's like, what?
Yeah,
Such a generic answer. Oh, the driving ones.
some good racing
Next person. Pass it along. What's your favorite arcade game?
DDR.
DDR.
Does
Is it really? That's your favorite arcade game?
Yeah.
How come you didn't play DDR when we played the other day?
Because it wasn't
not
DDR.
another fight?
It was,
Come
it was,
on, guys.
It was knockoff DDR where it's the diagonals
Oh,
and
pump
with
it
the
up?
center button. Yeah, it was like one of those ones that just. It was really cute watching Bernie and one of the boys play, but I
Should've
wasn't about to
periscoping
hop
that.
on that. I should have.
Yeah, she was like, no big deal. Get up there. I'm like, I've never played a rhythm game. She was like,
Shamascope.
you'll be fine. And then I got done. She goes, that was fucking terrible. She was like, she had no problem embarrassing me afterwards. And then I was like, you play. She's like, nope. When I get up there. So it's we went to the pinballs down south. I gotta say, not worth the trip down to Buda.
But
They took
How
over
the
that.
full bar.
You know that
Full bar.
castle.
Dorset 228
Makes
or
up for
whatever.
that.
Yeah.
That castle truck stop. They took that thing over.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So
They
it
used
was
to
all
have a giant
castle-y themed.
catfish in the fish tank there.
Like the
Really?
singing one? Oh, it was in a fish tank.
Didn't you get catfish?
Singing. You mean like the bass on the wall?
Yeah, those are funny.
Blaine, don't you have a catfish story?
No.
You mean catfishing?
Gus, is it too late to
One
bring?
actually happened over the weekend. but
Is
I'm
it too
not
late
gonna talk
to bring up the
Wait,
Confederate flag?
you got
want to talk
catfished
about
over
it?
the
Should we talk-
weekend?
about it. Kinda just dick
I wanna
picking
wrap
involved.
up.
I didn't
All right,
wanna talk
let's
about it.
forget it.
Wait.
We're not gonna solve that
We're
problem tonight.
sorry the podcast is ending, so we can't talk
Yeah,
about
we got to wrap up.
it. Yeah.
Maybe we'll talk about it right now in supplementary
There
stuff.
were.
Oh yeah, I forgot supplementary.
You got
Okay.
dick picked?
All right.
Let's-
Well, thanks for watching, everyone. If you're listening to the audio version of the podcast, keep listening. We're going to have a supplementary podcast with Paul Scheer. If you're... Oh,
Oh.
Ashley is marginally ahead. It's a lot
No.
closer than before.
Yeah, that's
Bernie,
right.
you're gaining. If you're watching this on YouTube,
cretin.
you go
Too soon.
listen to our podcast either on our website or download our iTunes version for the Paul Scheer. And check out his show, Shearl. It's actually pretty funny.
This went by so quick.
All right. Thanks for watching, everyone.
I had so many things to talk about.
10 minutes, man.